MIBR.
All things considered.
I don't think this is going to be a bonus. Ospas buys a gun for Arson on the other side, so they're going to have 4 rifles and the Guardian. That'll set them up so nicely. This a chance to completely break BLG's economy. Already in here in round 3.
And I'm feeling bad for yesterday.
You see some of the pings on the minimap already lighting up the left side of B.
The spam line could hurt MIBR.
Safe passage found across, and now all eyes set forward. With Ospas, the tip of the spear, Champions kill leader. Still not on the board.
And he pulls out all that utility front D as well. The Paranoia now pulls Rusha into garage where the fault line comes down. He can't quite connect the shot.
Just off. So an exchange of utility results in no lethality.
So my eyes turn over towards the A side of the map where now all of a sudden you've got the
when air is like this, you can't do anything.
Arson stepping into the long space. BLG 2 in sewers.
And remember, Neff used his stun for the garage hit, so that will not be in play. But they're rotating over to this. You see BLG has already pulled more members A.
It's a very good read, and this drone only sees the Viper. That's critical, but BLG still hold their ground. Some noise made from Arson running away from A long, but BLG know that's fake.
Quietly creeping forward, playing on such a dangerous line. The swing out from Ospas falls at the hands of YZ, but Artsy encounters. 2 kills found. Spike is in such an awkward spot. Artsy has to get out.
He's trying to run back. Cortesia just broke a tripwire in garage. He's stole his ground, but at the same time, Levius is back out in mid, and now this mad dash out of Arson trying to dodge away from the fault line, dodge away from a Cypher net. Now here's his approach. It's gonna be death from him.
13 seconds left. Surely it secures the round. Let's frag through it all. 3 targets to find. Not a ton of time to do it. BLG get on the board.
What could have been a disaster for BLG. MIBR buying up into that round. They see through calmly. Some good utility in mid-round calling to stack over towards the A site.
Maybe
it's now 3 rounds in a row. MIBR have shifted back towards A once the clock has started winding away. K-Knight and YZ holding their ground here, doing nicely with it.
It's giveaway.
Tripwire, almost the bane of Levius' existence.
Yeah.
The turret.
Yeah. And so into the next we go. Good purchase on both sides, an early stun, and a dump utility towards A main.
Yeah, BLG know that versus these Viper comps, you need to bully them out of the A main space early on in halves. Otherwise, it just allows workers to take that space so freely. So you expect to see the fault line the next couple of rounds. You expect to see players post up in front of it. That does leave their C side very vulnerable.
Really just a cam.
सालों के बाद मैं खुद कितना inconsistent.
Full retake set up for BLG. And it's not like they have ultimates to get back into the side either. They just trust in their utility, in their marksmanship to get back in.
हाँ 2 games है ना.
Neff no stun.
I'll be there till 12.
Silence across the map.
जब तक games है 2 games है 2 best of 3.
Couple of rounds now. BLG have had 3 players stuck on B. Look for exactly this, but this time Cortesia shows up massively.
K-Knight was there to respond in kind. And things quietly settle into a 4v4. They're going to rotate back into all of the space that BLG took away, eh?
This is wild. I mean, we're less than 40 seconds left onto the clock. MIBR have player C, have players Garage, have player A.
MIBR jaldi nikal jayegi.
Works, and now with Arson falling,
BLG mein wo nahi hai bhai jo chahiye game jeetne ke liye.
Somewhat on an island. I mean, Levius is within striking distance, but the smoke goes down. Ospas strikes.
And
now the dash through. The site should be secured.
आसपास अभी खोलते हुए जाएगा पूरी BLG को.
Russia still has the paranoia. Still a stunt for YZ to play off as well.
वही बात है.
Ospas' position will be critical here. He can dodge away from that key utility because he's playing so close to that smoke back towards C.
They're not playing long. They're hunkering down into the site. The first paranoia out from Shenum. Traded now. Both flashes used. Ospas waiting on the other side of smoke. The dash is just too much. Reposition, stays alive. Looks to take the fight the second time around. Inferno saves the day. A 1v1 now. Levy is weak, but Ospas worse. 3 HP. A stiff breeze will knock him over. And Levy delivers.
5-1 now for the Sentinel. Levy has started off the pistol round with a nice kill.
बहुत ज़्यादा तारीफ हो गई भाई.
In the last couple of rounds, it's been so solid playing into that C retake, but when he gets back out on the site, and this is starting to be a little bit indicative of how these teams want to play. You know,
He's
BLG
looking around,
grouping up
Phantom
often to
gives us,
fight
I
around the
don't know
bridge
why.
and the Neon. MIBR going to look to spread out across the map, plays much slower rounds. BLG's planning in these rifle rounds has netted them 2 wins.
It's forced MIBR here off of the back of that last one into this light buy with a Guardian, a Vandal, and a Stinger.
स्ट्रीम एलिमेंट्स को नाइटबॉट ने चुप करा दिया आपस में भिड़ रहे
And the Vandal is in the hands of Aspas, stepping into this tournament for what feels like the first time in his career as an underdog, really.
Yeah.
And currently, what, 1-3? Quiet start.
Quiet start for him. People will be used to also seeing his Jet on the international stage, but he's been playing a whole lot more than Neon in Americas this year, incorporating that into the pool. But this MIBR team was always a team that was underdogs. You know, 11th place, back-to-back stages in 2024, but the signing of Ospas and these incredibly talented rookies at the start of the year, and Cortesia and Jenna propelled MIBR to the best finish they had ever had. Third place.
I know.
That has not translated to global success.
No, painfully lackluster performance in Toronto.
Now they know Outlaw be posted.
But now the opportunity to right their wrongs. Aspas was able to get the first pick, and now attention towards A.
Yeah, decent start to this eco round. That paranoia is nice.
They've invested the Hunter's Fury.
Whoa.
Popped on the other side. And why is
Whoa.
he target?
Warno with double.
Now they're going to swing out into him, and he immediately falls.
That's just a masterclass ultimate there out of Verno.
Let's go.
2 kills with the Hunter's Fury, comboing off of Shenum's paranoia. BLG have no idea what just hit them.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll take a look at it one more time. Verno has been stellar in this opening map, 7-2 so far.
There's that paranoia and the stun. You can see Rushi has no idea really where to go, just teleport straight into the Hunter's Fury. It's a perfect read out of Verno on that. And even the teleport up into heaven too. Gorgeous.
Great start for MIBR on BLG's map pick. And again, we're going to see a lot of this attention towards A main at the beginning of the rounds.
Now, last round, MIBR realized that it was a light A hold. A lot of times you're going to see K-Knight playing on an island over towards the A site, and it's those rounds in particular that I think MIBR can try to punish this right side of the map a little bit more. Different story here in round 6 is it's back to a little bit of a B trap here on the eco for BLG.
Trip could be a problem.
Especially when there's a fault line right behind it as well.
Yeah, and a paranoia.
And YZ Sheriff, BLG.
I don't know, I'm feeling bad. Yeah. Legit. बहुत खराब लग रहा है.
This patience from MIBR is
वो
nice.
नहीं
You know, they've seen this B hold a couple of times and they've teased that space a bit, called back towards garage a number of moments.
Levius is getting curious.
ये साल जाओ.
Not going to get an early line, all rotating towards C. And remember, BLG have taken this defensive approach in previous rounds where they just play entirely off the site. And the last time we saw this, it was a retake attempt that ended in Aspas falling at the hands of Levius.
It was an even number, but now a Hunter's Fury to follow.
Shenum's dead.
Same moment.
And that's a spike. Artsy might fall, just barely dodging it. But now a second attempt. And they're digging their heels in. The spike goes down. How do BLG approach this? Remember, they have a Bucky and a Stinger and then a couple of shares. And there it is, the shorty from Artsy. Defusing the retake attempt before it really got out of the blocks. Still a decent spot.
Perfect.
Here, but they turn onto him. Very nicely handled from MIBR.
Yeah, the difference in this post plan for MIBR, on top of the fact they just had the better guns, it's that forward position that Artsin is able to find that first kill and sort of stunt that retake coming in. A couple of times now, BLG have gone heavy out from C-Link. And if those C-Link players don't really get to go anywhere, then your solo garage guy has nothing really he can do.
Right, it's just kind of stuck for sure.
Doesn't even matter that they have that first kill coming out from the Hunter's Fury. I still have no idea how Artsin dodged away from that final shot. I thought for sure he was gone.
And again, the value that he provided after staying alive and getting the kill onto YZ as he's trying to dash into the smoke was, it was perfect.
Nice! Let's go! I'll tell you what though, that level of energy has been something that was sorely lacking from MIBR back in stage 2.
Let's see guys, 4-2 MIBR निकालेगा DC R out. अरे क्या है कीबोर्ड को भाई डिस्कनेक्ट हो रहा है। मेरे को लगता है डिस्कॉर्ड का कुछ तो भी सीन हुआ है। अनइंस्टॉल करके इंस्टॉल करूंगा तो शायद कुछ हो जाए। ओपन ही नहीं हो रहा है क्योंकि उस दिन जो ओपन नहीं हुआ उस दिन के बाद ओपन ही नहीं हो रहा है भाई।
Yeah, misdirection all over the map.
But
look at this, K-Knight stepped forward out of lobby. Again, he goes for these walks all the time, and Artson's holding for him.
But he's weak. K-Knight, a bullet between his eyes. Cortesia succeeds where his teammate could not. And now we settle into a post plant where MIBR once again find themselves in an advantage. YZ as an op.
Deploying drone.
He's going to have to find a way to make that thing sing.
Don't worry. No.
One way onto the spike is an annoyance BLG have to deal with. They know the site is going to be clear, but still utility left away on that spike.
Note here, Shenum does not have another smoke, so as that dissipates, there is no other one-way situation, but the timing seems to be perfect. There's no way in for them to pull this thing off.
Not with the operator in YZ's hands. You can't retake the B site. That seemed like coming out of the timeout, right? BLG have this idea to fight so heavily for the A space. It seemed like with how quickly MIBR reacted to instantly punish onto B and hold against the lurks. You can't be dying to the spike there.
No, that's tragic.
But it seemed like MIBR had that contingency plan in the back of their mind set up during the timeout. If there's this heavy fight over A lobby, accelerate quick into B, go there for the first time this game, and also keep holding for the flank.
I wondered, how much of that was a response to the aggression, and how much of that was just a call out of their playbook on the other side of the timeout. The TP into spawn looked instant, and Levius was so focused on what was happening in spawn that he really was not in a position to play B. He was kind of left out of everything from the very get-go. So either way, well handled, well responded. BLG, excuse me, on this lighter buy.
Yeah, BLG fake a little bit of that fight towards A lobby, but like you saw in the last round, Levius is left alone oftentimes. This time it's on the A side of the map. That is a consistent pattern for BLG. His side of the map will be a little bit more cautious, so he's brought YZ over into him. This is where we'll see how MIBR deal with this. I think some audio of a drone going out of garage has been able to be heard by these players.
You should run.
And now the lockdown. They just kind of wait this one out.
Yeah, that's one way to win an anti-eco.
Yeah.
Still YZ playing heaven, and now he's smoked off, no chance.
He will get back into the line pretty quickly, but yeah, you're right. That Omen smoke will provide problems.
3 members heading onto the flank now.
And now the pit, they're putting a lot
Okay, Verno.
into this, looking to secure it. Verno gets 2, make that 3.
1 HP. He takes them all.
Round
Is done. There's no way in. YZ has to save the op.
Yep, it's another save. Levius will go into his death intentionally this time. Just a tough situation to be on. And BLG, I think now's the time where they need to make some adjustments. They have tested the flanks so often, both here and domestically. And MIBR come into this, well, you know, it is going to be BLG's map pick. MIBR know that the preferred maps of BLG are going to be Haven and Mine. They'll have done plenty of homework on this. They'll know exactly what's up, and now they don't even have to worry about that operator.
11 and 2
I can't
for
even,
Verno.
like,
One off
open
of
the
having
squad.
his Hunter's Fury on mine once more.
Kid's a monster. And this is what it felt like when MIBR picked him up back in stage 1. Remember, they weren't playing with this kid in kickoff. Right? Verno was wearing a different jersey with NRG. And it seemed like that signing from MIBR just made everything click. All of a sudden, they're winning everything. Again, a top 3 finish. While individually he looked decent enough in Toronto. This is kind of the promise we had with Verno in the offseason.
Aspas has an op, Artsine has a Marshal. Or an Outlaw, excuse me.
little bit wild, but honestly, when I was watching BLG play, I think that on the attack side, an attack up really works against them. If you hold extremities, you hold that contain against the walk-up of, well, what is YZ doing right now? K9's also gone for that. You'll see BLG walk down C long. You'll see them walk out of garage.
मेरे को कोई बताओ रे डिस्कॉर्ड का क्या
shutting down BLG's
मैप खत्म होने के बाद डिस्कॉर्ड
Four
का
of them
कुछ
are on
करेंगे
light armor. You see the outlaw was put down in exchange for a rifle. That was close. Resetting off of that, clearing the trip, but A is BLG's.
YZ steps on behind that drone, and this is what makes BLG tick. YZ takes more duels than anyone else in China.
Here.
It's a search and destroy mission so often for him. When he finds the openers, BLG's rounds just play themselves.
The kill leader from his respective region for that reason. That trip still hasn't been cleared. Now finally cleared. The TP, the dash through, the wall goes up, the spike goes down. MIBR come to life. Aspas waiting on the other side of the smoke, beckoning, demanding a challenge that does not come.
Gets the dink though, onto K-Knight, and still in the post plant, a Hunter's Fury for Verno. Nano's now being thrown down.
Cortesia, a big fight here, has to be able to pull this off. If Flavius can relieve some of this pressure, it's a problem, but no, MIBR stand tall. 3v3 now. Rolling Thunder invested in exchange for the Hunter's Fury from a distance. As the second pulse goes off, another mark found, and another round for MIBR.
Let's go.
Just insane there, getting up in front of the Hunter's Fury. In front of the Rolling Thunder too. I want you to watch in this post play.
I don't know how,
First of all,
why,
gets a dink and gets this
happened.
shot with the operator, but then Shenum on the Omen steps in front of the Rolling Thunder, gets that kill first. That means so much. Leads to a Hunter's Fury kill. Leads to the round for MIBR and BLG's second time out of the half.
Yeah, because imagine if let's say everyone else dies on site, Verno's still playing pretty far off. He's been using the Hunter's Fury. He can't quickly get into spamming smoke. You're doing this, that, or the other for the defuse. The play's gone.
Oh yeah, you have to have teammates still alive. Verno can't win that round on his own with the way he played it. But again, that seemed like MIBR have a very clear plan. If BLG are fighting forward in A lobby, and I don't mean just hanging out, you know, that deep long line or fighting with an operator bottom sewers. I mean they're up in lobby threatening your flank. As soon as that happens, what has MIBR done every round? It is a quick acceleration into the B site. They know that site has been weak, and they have punished it consistently. They've been getting into these post plants where they have good utility. Even though they're not playing any players on site, BLG can't get out there. It's not a matter of time and oh, they don't have time to defuse. No, MIBR are just slaughtering them.
I was talking to Fraud prior to the series starting, asking him how he felt about the pick bans and how it kind of went down, and he had a smirk on his face and said, we got both maps we wanted. They picked our first choice. And I was hesitant to believe it, to be honest, and forgive me for being a doubter, but given history, I don't know, but yeah, he was right.
And it just makes sense, right? MIBR have the extra time to prep. They know BLG's tendencies, and they're debuting a new comp. MIBR with the double smokes, now another fight into long, but this one, even between the two squads.
And Odin rattles off right off the bat. No damage found, but a couple kills traded.
Shenum
for Shenum, I take that any day of the week.
We'll see what Levius can do in the corner here. Stinger in hand, not tagged up.
He's been here a couple of
Hold
times.
on, what is going on?
Body block, Neff falls. But traded back again.
But दो मार गया Night Stinger से.
BLG
gets another.
They made a good adjustment out of the timeout. Very quick to respond and start threatening on this B site and into garage. So you can see that scattered MIBR a bit. Their spike is still outside garage. It's time to maybe regroup, play together. This was a bit of a half buy from BLG, but and they have the information too, know exactly where these final two players are. Gun for K-Knight.
Just over 40 seconds left in the round. You do have time to play this out. You're not forced to commit A. Oh, pop, wall through. Last pass left to fight. We'll find his one. K-Knight down 3 on the round.
30 seconds
for the duelist, and one more waiting on the other
What?
side. Dashes back, throws it in reverse, and gets another for MIBR.
Just dancing on him. Aspas had no clue where that last guy was. But it doesn't matter. The Stinger cannot hold up against Aspas with the Neon.
अच्छा Neon ने पहला मारा था.
That kill from YZ at a distance is kind of insane.
It's wild, but it doesn't amount to much of anything. this is
Nice
now where
shot, Ray.
we need to see the
Kya
learnings
mara
taken
ye?
from BLG in the timeout. They need rounds. They can't, you know, limp out of this half with 2 rounds. You got to have something more than that.
For the first time in what feels like forever, MIBR set their eyes on C.
Right off the rip, too.
Rishia, the paranoia is going to be really good. It's going to buy a lot of time. Rotation's coming through. The ult has been popped. Levy is the first to
Mara.
follow Rishia, dancing around looking for another target. Cannot find it.
Mara.
But Knight from a distance does.
Oh, 35
3v3
HP.
now.
3v3, 35
Knight's
HP.
still so healthy.
And this lurk from Artson. No utility to hold him down. He's a little bit too late. BLG are into the site.
Fast takes a step back.
Artisan lurk पे दो मार गया.
BLG cannot find their way in. And again, that was off the opening.
भाई
of the
लर्क पे
K-Knight
दो
with
मार
the ult.
गया.
And it looked to me like Artson was going to be late, but that was Wisey going into the site on his own because the 2 people behind him are his initiators. They're chucking out utility. They're stuck back in C-Link.
Right.
So Artson has a free couple of kills. You can see that dart ping helped out so massively. And it's a drone, and it's now turning around to deal with him. And MIBR just running the map.
Yeah, we've sung his praises a couple times with that dart that you mentioned, setting up the kills. Oh, it's going to be a Clash B, isn't it? Swinging into 3, and all 3 found. It's a slaughter. It's a disaster for BLG.
Aspas isn't done yet.
Pushing the pace, looking for another will find it.
This tournament doesn't make any sense, Doug. Think of the number 4 seeds upsetting number 1s. Even just yesterday, G2 went down to Heretics. And it's MIBR leading the first half.
With 10 and
10-2.
A flawless round to close it out as well for MIBR.
This team didn't make playoffs in Americas. And they're already lighting up the global stage.
No love between these two either. I mean, you see them stand up out of their seats, giving it back just in kind. A slaughter
नहीं बता रहे.
of a first half. BLG on their back foot. We're going to throw it to a quick break. We'll be right back.
लेजेंड भाई कुछ ओपन ही नहीं हो रहा है डिस्कॉर्ड के नाम का. बताओ रे यार कोई. एक बार डिलीट करता हूँ. What is VGC? भाई डिस्कॉर्ड नाम का सबको जुड़ा दूंगा मैं. सीधा शिफ्ट डिलीट है. तू भी शिफ्ट डिलीट है भाई. This action cannot be completed because what is VGC? टास्क मैनेजर खोलता हूँ. कुछ है उधर. कुछ भी तो नहीं है. VGC नहीं पता भाई. वो देखूंगा मैं. कुछ तो सीन है जो सॉर्ट करना पड़ेगा. लेजेंड बहुत हेवी सीन्स चल रहे हैं.
Just completely shut down in that first half. Largely in part to Verno.
Yeah.
You can see down here with the Coinbase Econ report, this guy was absolutely torching BLG. And I think that MIBR's game plan really supported this shutting down of Wisey, a guy that on defense so often will step forward and seek out those fights. MIBR were holding for him every single time. Now on the attack side of things, I need to see that Wisey that was promised if BLG are going to bounce back.
And BLG will require it. Take a look at how they want to approach this attack side, and they're just so far back. You have to play perfectly, really. I mean, if you want to get a shot just to get back into this thing.
Yeah. Absolutely insane. How things started off, the flawless rounds. I heard 3 of them right there. MIBR were so clean, but BLG gonna start things off geared up towards the seaside, which is light right now. Just a nano swarm to hold things down, and the poison cloud, of course, from Artzin.
All right, I do think a lot of our attention will be, we mentioned YZ, and for good reason, but Neff in particular does such a good job of setting him up and unlocking him. So it's as much on his shoulders as it is on YZ's, in my opinion.
It's going to come down to breaking MIBR's hold over towards the A site. Ospas on this forward line, not over-peeking into lobby. That's going to take a shot and fall away here.
Cautious here. Shenum is close by, has a paranoia. But they're going to go long. Not even really giving that angle.
Does Levius walk into the double stack of MIBR garage? I mean, he's calling his team back into him.
I think he expected rotations to hit a lot faster, but now that the turret's cleared, there are still 2 players here.
And Artzin ratting it out in his cloud.
Cortezia feeling a lot of the pressure. Artzin, his cloud goes down. He gets 1, make that 2.
Double.
The frenzy tries to find a 3rd. Tucking behind the box, but Cortezia delivers. Now the paranoia out. BLG trying to will their way into a pistol, and they cannot. 11 for MIBR.
BLG think themselves out of the round. MIBR didn't flinch with that double garage trap setup. They had started in those positions at the very beginning. Artzin and Cortezia never left each other until they decided to fall back into C. And that quick thinking, that reposition out of Artzin was so nice. The only thing that stops him from killing everyone, the magazine size on his frenzy.
30 seconds left. Enemy remaining.
This is now 9 rounds in a row for MIBR.
And now BLG have to force up into it.
Yeah.
Not even with the generosity of a spike plant.
5 Stingers, light armor on 4. K-Knight, the one exception.
So double body shot from Ospas here, good enough to take out Russia.
Darts have been exchanged. A little bit of info gathered. But Ospas lies in wait.
Yeah, no space on the map for BLG. Makes it really hard. They're going to cautiously maybe test back into mid. But in their eyes, MIBR could be anywhere.
This wall from MIBR just takes away so many options, too. I mean, you take a look across the minimap. Utility C, garage, the wall B and A.
BLG might have done the right thing, though, by making that noise B, by not showing anyone A long. They've now pulled the rotate away from Verno, so only 2 players to hold them right now. They've also let Levius go on a bit of a walk.
Yeah, but Shenum's holding it on the other side. I mean,
No.
maybe with different weapons, you got a shot at this. Hard scene, feeling
Move
something.
away,
Takes a
move
step
up,
back with the
yay.
judge. And they try to brute force their way onto A, and so far, so good. They're succeeding.
3v2.
They've gotten the sight, they just don't have numbers, and they really don't have the guns.
Chip damage well onto K-Knight. Look at Russia. He needs to keep going forward. He needs to find something for his team.
Upgrades into a Guardian. Entrenched in the smoke. Waiting for the challenge.
Nice.
And as it goes down, the kill goes up. Cortezia finds it. K-Knight dropping Verno down from heaven. Into 1v2, swings it, delivers a dink. Still more damage to the account. And Cortezia avoids disaster as MIBR get the round.
That was the force up as well for BLG. That was the last chance for
तो नहीं रही
them
ना वो मेरे फोन में पता नहीं क्यों अटक रही है बार-बार
to open things up here.
बट इधर में वो
Shenum.
नहीं अटक रही
Bit awkward here with that flash connecting onto a teammate. As YZ had to try and turn back around into the judge. Ends up eating up the breach blind. Nice! So BLG go back to the well. Again, it's not pretty.
No, it's a shallow well, man.
And now there's an outlaw in the hands of Ospas. Only half armors except for K-Knight.
What can they do here?
There's even an alarm holding this heaven jump.
And they hadn't seen that one. They hadn't gotten that far up, and they've also only played, what, 2 defensive rounds?
Look how quickly MIBR have started shifting over. Completely prepared.
They smell blood in the water. A bullet between YZ's eyes as Shenum gets 2.
C.
K-Knight tries to open up the site, but can, and the spike is well out of reach here.
He didn't even pick up the spike.
No, it isn't. I don't know that he feels safe enough to at this point. And so Aspas can just hold it.
I think he just missed it. He was right on top of it and didn't connect. And now it's being hard held by 2 players.
You might be right. Tragedy. Bears spots it. K-Knight's head snaps back. As
It's
has
over.
been BLG's. MIBR. Flawless to close out map 1. BLG's map pick.
The last time we saw MIBR play this map on the international stage, they lost 13-1. They have now taken down China's best team 13-2 to open up the tournament.
And now they turn their attention over to Corrode, which was the arena they want.
अबे डिस्को हेलो 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 आदि हेलो अबे नहीं बे ओपन ही नहीं हो रहा पता नहीं क्यों बस अब ठीक है मैं इस पे आया हूँ क्या बोलते ब्राउजर पे आया हूँ ऐप नहीं ओपन हो रहा
तेरा अपडेट नहीं हुआ है शायद से।
अबे नया डाउनलोड करके देख रहा हूँ फिर भी ओपन नहीं हो रहा है
अरे पीसी को फेंक दे।
नया तू दिला दे
अरे फेंकने की बात की मैंने, खरीदने की थोड़ी की।
तो-
ये नए
तू फेंकने
नया
बोल
यूज
रहा
करने
है,
की थोड़ी
समझ,
बात की
समझ,
मैंने।
समझ, तू फेंकने बोल रहा है तो नया तो दूंगा ना फेंकूंगा तो
अरे तू फोन पे स्विच हो जा,
क्यों है
तू फोन स्ट्रीम कर, मोबाइल स्ट्रीम कर। MIBR जीतेगा।
क्या टूर्नामेंट या मैच
मैप
मैप तो जीत गया है 2-0 जीतने वाले हैं
वो तो पता ही है।
सबसे खराब मेरे को एनआरजी वाला गेम लगा रे
क्यों
2-10 से एनआरजी कैसा कमबैक कर ली
हाँ वो 60 था, एक्चुअल में 60 था।
मैं ट्रेन में देख रहा था
210 भी नहीं था, 211 था।
हाँ एक्चुअली
कल मुझे लगा था डीआरजी जीतेगा, मैं डीआरजी को ही किया था
मैंने
डीआरजी जीतेगा, बट इट वाज T1। थोड़ा सा
का बात नहीं है रे वो लास्ट राउंड 2v4 हक दिया
I know, but T1 is like little bit above DRG.
थोड़ा सा बेटर है
That's
हाँ,
why
वो
they
तो
won.
है थोड़ा देख पूरा सीएन
तो-
रीजन पता नहीं
तो भी
अभी
मैंने
गायब सा
DRG
हो
को
गया
किया
है
था। कौन
पूरा का पूरा सीएन रीजन जो है ना
कैसा नहीं होता रे। हाँ, कभी EDG जब जीता था, ओके, that time the Kang was he was fucking
वो प्राइम फॉर्म में
destroying
था
everyone. हाँ, that's why. और अकेले बंदे ने ये किया है, मैप जीता है, ये किया है। उसके कितने 110 समथिंग किल्स थे फाइनल्स में।
5 मैप मिला के हाँ 110 फ्रैग्स थे
वो किसके अगेंस्ट थी? ईजी के अगेंस्ट शायद से।
ईजी नहीं था, शायद हेरिटिक्स
के
था।
अगेंस्ट।
हेरिटिक्स था।
हेरिटिक्स था।
Bruno was IGLing. I believe he still is, but because the team seems to be in top form, we just want to know is he passing that around and with the communications within the team?
No, Verno's fully in control. After the second game of our split, we made the decision to swap him as the IGL because he was really wanting to do it. So we're just all in with him, full faith. We've been working with him every day to try and improve his calling, his understanding of the game, which is already at a high level. So yeah, we're not, we made the decision and we don't look back. Even though we've made a couple other decisions, we stand by those decisions and go forward, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Well, he's in top form as well, so a good call on that, and good luck on the next map.
Map 1 के बाद actually overconfident हो गए थे.
Well, it's not just the calling that's been amazing for Verno, the shooting, the everything. Uber and Wyatt, I can confirm.
मेरे को पता है खराब क्या लगा सेंटिनल्स वाले गेम में 6-0 अप थे, तुम 8-4 हाफ में अप थे. तुमने क्या किया पता नहीं.
वैसे नहीं, उनका कैसे होता है? They think we are top, but we are क्या बोलते हैं? सबसे ऊपर ही हम. उनको ऐसा लगता है कि कोई हमें हरा ही नहीं सकता. वैसा एटीट्यूड है उनका. ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. मतलब एक पॉइंट के लिए अच्छा है, but it is not good.
देख everybody think like that कि भाई मैं बेस्ट हूँ, मेरे को कोई नहीं हरा सकता.
अरे वैसे नहीं, कोई हरा नहीं सकता. That's different part. But
वो सर पे नहीं चढ़ना चाहिए, वो सर पे नहीं चढ़ना चाहिए कि भाई मेरे को कोई हरा ही नहीं सकता.
वो सर पे चढ़ता है. उसके क्या बोलते हैं? सेंटिनल्स के कोच के फेस पे दिखता है वो चीज.
सेम एज जब डीमन 1 जीता था ईजी के साथ, वो डीमन 1 के सर पे चढ़ गया था. ही वाज डन.
उसको नहीं, उसको क्या हुआ है? उसका अंगर खत्म हो गया.
वही ना, he was done.
I'm champion. हाँ, बस उतना ही है.
इधर आसपास घिसे जा रहा है, घिसे जा रहा है, घिसे जा रहा है.
वो जीता है लाउड के.
वही बोल रहा हूँ, लाउड के साथ जीतने के बावजूद घिसे जा रहा है. उसको ऐसा है कि भाई एक बार चैंपियन बन गया, मेरे को उधर मेंटेन करने गए.
वो करता है, वो टीम पे डिपेंड करता है, बट करता है वो. कभी भी ये वैलो सिंगल क्या बोलते हैं, सिंगल प्लेयर गेम नहीं है.
अरे हाँ, टीम पे डिपेंड करता है नो डाउट, लेकिन हर एक का इंडिविजुअल परफॉर्मेंस भी मैटर करता है. ये रे
इंडिविजुअल परफॉर्मेंस तो मैटर करता है ना, बट कभी कभी सबका गेम टॉप नॉच नहीं होता. तो ऊपर नीचे कभी भी होता है.
अब मैं तेरे को एक बात बोलूं,
कभी भी
पेपर एक्स में पांचों का गेम टॉप नॉच नहीं है.
हाँ,
ये सब पैटमैन हमेशा सपोर्ट करता है.
नहीं, कभी कभी वो मारता भी, बहुत मारता है.
द थिंग इज
देख तुझे
वो दिखता नहीं है. मैं तेरे को एक बात बताऊं, वो फ्लैशी प्लेस फोरसेकन और जिंग के पीछे है ना, दिखता नहीं है. चल दवाई क्लचेस निकाल के देता है तो दिख जाता है. पैटमैन वो राउंड के बीच में जो एक बोलता ना किसको, जो इम्पैक्ट फ्रैग्स होते हैं वो निकाल के देता है, जो जरूरी भी होते हैं और वो दिखते भी नहीं है. इट इज काइंड ऑफ बैकबोन ऑफ द टीम वाला सीन है.
होती है. मैं क्या बोलता हूँ, ड्यूलिश के ही दिखते हैं मोस्टली. ड्यूलिश के दिखते हैं तो जो ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट करता है या लेटेस्ट निकलता है उसके ही दिखते हैं हमेशा.
या फैन फेवरेट होता है.
I want double control, a single duelist out of MIBR. I think I'd like to see him go back in that direction.
Yeah, I am curious to see if they're just going to trend to the meta, because also, bear in mind, when they were running that comp, that was
क्या लगता है?
that was right when
Ascension में BLT का चांस है?
So there was no set meta look at all. Yeah, there was no meta. It was chaos.
I like the way that they
cannot
put
be.
out the Odin too.
It's depend on
I think we're definitely going to see as we head to Kuroba.
उनका स्ट्रैट्स कितने अच्छे हैं.
दो टीम है, दो टीम का क्वालिफिकेशन है, एक नहीं है, दो है.
Normally he's in
बट फाइनल तक तो जाना चाहिए ना उसके लिए.
भाई
So hopefully we get to see more out of Billy because if they don't
भाई
win
कितनी बार
here,
ग्लास भर के दे तेरे को?
CN are going to finish the first 4 days without a
हाँ, कितनी
single
बार भी मांग
map
सकते हैं।
win. I don't remember
अरे अब
last
मांगे जा रहा है, गेम के बीच में भी 2 बार मांगा था.
defending champions of champs.
Which is mental and the greatest disparity we've seen in a scoreline for one of their teams.
मोस्टली
is
इसमें काफी
the
प्लेयर्स
number
पता है
1 seed
एनर्जी ड्रिंक
against
भरवाते ही नहीं है. कोई
no
कॉफी
win
भरवाता है,
from
कोई चपानी
Americans.
भरवाता है.
That makes zero sense on paper.
हाँ डिपेंड करता है रे.
MIBR making extremely good use of their time coming in. This is why we
आदत पे डिपेंड करता है खुद के. क्या
मेरे को ये बोला था ना, मेरे को कौन से टाइम पे रॉसी बोला था. रॉसी बोलता है मैं कभी एनर्जी ड्रिंक बहुत रेयर केस में भरवाता हूँ.
Do you think he's going to be a waste slay? Or is it just a
ही ऑलवेज लाइक टू हैव लाइक या तो वो पानी पिएगा नहीं तो उसको कोल्ड कॉफी चाहिए.
Yeah, they are just straight up running the NRG comp. Osmos's Waylay looked really good. He only played for a
दिमाग है
very
ना
brief
शांत
period of
रखने
time.
के लिए जो
Yeah, nah,
चीज
Waylay
अच्छी होती है ना वो करते हैं. दिमाग और
फोकस तेरा फोकस हिलना नहीं चाहिए. सिंपल है.
वही है.
If your focus is on the right thing.
Scan util used to abuse smokes and the thin walls on this map. Get the Odin in play. Have Aspas play through connector a whole lot. Light speed in. See what he can dig up. And the fact that he can get back out and have a second bite of the apple obviously suits him really, really well.
I would also say this is the exact map that I want to see Verno on. After having a heater game playing Sova, you get to go to a Sova playground map. He should be able to just continue that momentum right into this.
There's a lot of set play potential with this Billy setup, though. I think looking at Nev's deadline is something I'm going to be trained on pretty closely. It makes for powerful post pass, but here on the defense side, if they can fight for any of that contested territory, get grab nets into A main, fight in yard.
साला बट देखना जो भी 4 नंबर पे गया है ना
सब मार रहे 1 नंबर वाले को. सब #1 वालों को तोड़ रहे.
They're starting on defense
हाँ,
side, so
देख
do we get to see
TH
enough
ने
of
G2 को हराया.
this game before it gets away from
Then
I'm so glad you mentioned that
Pipex
because
ने
they did play
XLG
this
को
one
हराया.
before he took a silly
MIBR ने
amount of first engagements on the
वो
100%. Yeah, that was
XLG और
about
पेपर
finals
एक्स्ट्रा
game
नहीं
against
हुआ
TRG,
सिर्फ.
who were running a bizarre Gecko comp.
MIBR
I think the
हरा
read
रहे
on
BLG
Corrode
को.
from CN, the region, has
DRX ने
been
TL को
all over
हराया.
the place. It's been very weird. Whereas around the world elsewhere, it's felt pretty set in a couple comps. So I don't know if that game against TRG is really an accurate test of where Billy are at, because they were playing such an off-meta, strange thing. I don't know how to rate them.
Well, we're going to jump into map 2 now and send this over to Ender and Doug and see if
Oh
Billy can take a map off of MIBR.
Thank you so much, Yinsu. At the edge of chaos, the unexpected occurs, and that's exactly where MIBR took us. Now, Ender, my question to you is, are we expecting some of the same here, given the comps that we're already seeing?
I think it's really hard to come in with any real expectations of this map because of only seeing these teams each play the map one time during stage 2 because the changes in composition as well. I think that what I'm really going to be looking at, the desk was talking a bit about Neff on the deadlock, taking a lot of those early engagements, which I think could be a bit of a detriment, but I want to see how good he is at stopping down these hits because already MIBR are quick into A main.
चलो गाइस गेम
Yeah,
चालू.
so fast, but immediately stopped
बच्चों
out by
दिखाता
the
हूँ.
net, and then if they do
देखते हैं.
continue to go forward, they've had 2 sound sensors, they have 2 players here.
Interesting too that Cortezia put down that B exec wall just straight down the site. The rest of the team maybe trying to go back into mid, and I think it's important that these players from MIBR are able to challenge up against YZ and Knight. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to really sell this rotate at all.
K-Knight tucking behind the wall. Cortezia has been left to go explore and try to sniff something out and see what he can find. But of course, in very BLG fashion, they get a little antsy, they get a little curious, they decide to go explore, and Cortezia swings around, gets the best of the Sova.
But YZ is still continuing forward on the lurk. There's no way.
Slips the net, gets the kill onto one. Now they have to turn attention forward. Do BLG crunch in from main? Got Nev who's considering it, but they're waiting for us on the other side of the wall. They've actually left YZ on an island, not forced to join the fray.
And now, as a matter of fact, all of a sudden, Cortezia is up into mid. He's got a chance to come in from behind. On BLG.
कॉर्टेसिया का गेम है कितना एटलीस्ट एक.
As it goes down.
Patience.
Oh, I love this out of him. Assassination style. Neff falls. Levy is tucked. Dropped. Rushia left in one.
I mean, how can you do that? Look at this. MIBR just full facing the line.
बढ़िया मारा भाई. बढ़िया लर्क था.
From good kill first.
8 armor, 92 HP for the controller.
Total 100.
Forced into a miserable position and asked to make art out of it.
वॉल अप कर दे।
Trying to do his best to section off the fights as much as he can. Aspas get a little cheeky with it, but not given the fights. Rishia is running out of time as well. A second tag onto the duelist, and he realizes options are essentially non-existent here. The swing out, Aspas gets the kill. MIBR get the round.
I mean, that was a wild round, right?
कास्टिंग में मेरे को थोड़ा सा दिक्कत लग रहा है।
But I can't help but feel like why is he pulled the
हाँ
trigger
दे।
way too soon? On the
ये सुन रहा है इंग्लिश सुन रहा है।
इंग्लिश ही सुन रहा हूँ
No
ना।
one else is really anywhere on the map. I would have thought.
प्लेयर्स
नहीं
के नाम की जगह पे they are just taking the role of the player, like they are taking the name of the role of the player.
There's a world where if Wisey is patient with the trigger discipline, he could have
तो प्लेयर्स के नाम काहे के लिए नहीं ले रहे हो?
no one realizes what happened to him.
And again, he was in such a bad
थोड़ी-थोड़ी
spot.
जगह
He
पे
knew
ऐसा हो
he
रहा
was
है।
in position, but his teammates couldn't help him because of the deadlock wall that was B main. Aggressive out from BLG towards A main this time around. They want to take the fight towards MIBR.
शोल्डर पिक।
K-Knight picks up the orb.
Phantom.
Aspas steps into mid. Now,
साले अगर मरा ना राउंड जाएगा।
on his own.
And he loses it, and all of a sudden it's donated.
I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. That's a Phantom just dropped up in top mid.
For
And now
another-
K-Knight has a kill as well. Is that
ये
actually?
तो दो
That's recoverable for sure.
Yeah, it is.
साला मैं ही पनौती हूँ क्या?
But it's gonna
दो
take some
फैंटम
time.
एक वैंडल।
And with that
बाय
time,
राउंड के
BLG
हिसाब से ही
should be
खेले
able
थे
to
वो
make
लोग।
multiple post plants.
Yeah, at least that
लेकिन
bomb
साला मैं ही
didn't
पनौती हूँ
have
ऐसा लग रहा
on
है।
it, and
ये ले।
now
हाँ मैं ही
Shannon
पनौती हूँ।
falls, okay.
वो फील हो रहा
Wasn't
है।
even the Phantom. Weapon now upgraded
दो-
in the hands of Neff.
एक फैंटम है, अभी 2v3 है।
Still ready to go. Wisey connects onto the
ये मारेगा।
Sova with the friends.
एक मार पाएगा, ट्रेड हो जाएगा, वो ट्रेड होना ही है। दो फैंटम्स हो गई है डोनेट।
Watch your back.
BLG in a really
काटा है बेंच।
but it's a knife. You're
तीसरी
absolutely
वैंडल भी हो
right.
जाएगी। ओहो।
A
अब
tragic
बहुत
punctuation
पीटेंगे
point to the
देख।
round.
बेलजी अब मारेगी।
We are in a thrifty win for BLG.
बेलजी नहीं मारेगी देख तू।
अब अरे
बेलजी को कुत्ता जैसे मारेगी।
हाँ ट्राई वही करेगी, लेकिन बीएलजी अब ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट हो जाएगी। या तो ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट हो जाएगी या पूरा का पूरा मारेगी।
नहीं क्यों पता है?
I feel like back-to-back rounds, their duelists getting a little bit ahead
नाइफ
of
किया है,
themselves.
इसलिए कुत्ता जैसा मारेगी देख तू।
That is a brutal way to finish it. Uh-huh.
Thought he might get out of his seat. Thought he might get a little verbal across the stage.
लेकिन कोरोडी एक ऐसा मैप है जहाँ पे एंटी को बहुत जल्दी निकल जाता है, मालूम है। चाहे तू ई स्पोर्ट सीन बोले, चाहे तू कॉम्पी बोले, कहीं भी बोले, ये मैप में तू एंटी को इजीली निकाल सकता है।
इजी है थोड़ा।
हाँ एंटी को निकालना
चोक पॉइंट है ना।
हीरो ये क्या है? दोनों टीमें कितना गंदा खेल रही है।
These are the most nonsense rounds I've ever seen. Aspas just fully picking things back up after a blunder in round 2. MIBR just seized the reins once
बहुत
again.
कुत्ता जैसे मारेगी देख तू MIBR।
वो आसपास अभी एक्टिवेट हो गया तो फिर
Here, if you're BLG, I think they're just calling for the save.
Yeah, I mean at this point it's probably better than giving over even more guns to MIBR.
जाना चाहिए, आर्टिसन को जाना चाहिए आगे।
Next.
Tough to really see what the financial situation is for Neff and Levius.
दोनों जाएंगे देख।
You imagine it's a bit spotty, and so they're trying to clutch onto their pearls, trying to keep that carried into the next.
आसपास को नहीं जाके आर्टिसन को जाना चाहिए। द रीजन इज बुलडॉग है उस पे, तो जा भी सकता है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता।
Of course they picked up all
और
the
शील्ड
kills
भी
from
नहीं है
the
ना,
last round,
तो जा
right?
सकता है।
Verno is going to have the 100 Fury online. You
Yeah.
remember how
आसपास के
dense
पास
he was
शील्ड है।
back with that?
हाँ तभी तो मना कर रहा हूँ, मतलब वही वैंडल शील्ड है इसके लिए, तो इवन हाफ शील्ड कॉर्टिजिया पे भी है, तो फिर ठीक ही है। आउटलो तो आने नहीं वाली। सही बात है। क्या हाल है अमन?
Let him go, take a fight, and then get out.
No one.
Yeah, nobody. Well, nice save there from production.
Yeah,
Catch that
a
one.
little bit of a
वैसे
different
भी
reaction
attacking
from
map है।
our coaching booths compared to round number 2, but here you go. See some
पहले
of
लगा
that
था
speed with the
डिफेंडिंग
waylay.
है बट
क्या हाल है?
Knife out. Aspas takes the
50
fight,
HP.
waiting for a second challenge.
और ये Putty.
Good
जल्दी है Putty.
and the follow-up too from Verno. It's only the
Oh.
spam from K-Knight to try and equalize.
He's gonna get caught.
मारा
That was beautifully played up mid by MIBR. Primarily Ospas.
मजा भाई
Knows
सा
that double
ये जो
tap
मारेगा ना
is
आसपास
on
अभी
there,
पूरा
but he freezes. So that reclear with the stun doesn't connect on him. He gets the one kill, dodges away. Verno takes his
हिंडर भी
place.
है ना इसको नाइस मैं बोला ना अभी जो आसपास मारने वाला है ना
V3. And he's so far away from the play.
EG plant
From watching Neff's deadlock in the finals, it was kind of hard for him to play off of his stuns there. You can see where they are on the map. And the positions he was actually trying to work with, I don't know how to draw apparently. But
आराम से यहाँ पे होल्ड करके निकाल सकते हैं
often struggle to capitalize off of that. The majority of value he's finding is off the wall.
भाई सबको दे तेरे स्ट्रीम पे अंग्रेजों ने टेक ओवर कर लिया ना 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 वॉच पार्टी कर रहा हूँ रे
Against some of these higher tempo execs, the last 2 rounds have just not even been close.
It's been a blistering pace from the attack.
वॉच पार्टी कर रहा हूँ वॉच पार्टी कर रहा हूँ
And I mean, maybe we get a timeout
Sean.
pretty early on. You saw some of the frustration. Yeah, that's beautifully played.
The patience there, he's not hit by the
अब
stuns.
इंडियन स्क्वाड्स क्वालिफाई नहीं होती तो अब यार कुछ कर नहीं अपने हाथ में नहीं है यार लेजिट बता रहा हूँ
Reload, here's the drone, easy push for the kill.
और BGMI परमिट करता नहीं है वॉच पार्टी का
That's a
Valo
demonstration
करता है
how to deconstruct a mid-hold from a defending team.
Yeah. Snappy from Shenum too to close out the round. 5-1 for Aspas, 5-2 for Verno.
Here's that quick pace to A.
ओए क्लोज लेफ्ट
Is that going to be enough? Just Wisey? The TP across, he gets his one. Just not enough there. But Rishi is tucked. He's got a judge. The flash through. K-Knight joins the fray. K-Knight gets 2.
1v3
Now it's Cortezia left in a 1v3.
Good play. And already 2 players
और
approach.
TP थोड़ा F हो गया
On the flank.
45 HP, he's left alone. This is going to be difficult. He spots his one. No real idea of what's waiting on the other side. And as Neff creeps forward, might be the easiest kill of his life.
ये
BLG continuing just flank every single round.
मेजर इवेंट एक किया ना
Just when you think
देखा
they're done,
नहीं
there's another player coming in from the side. But truly the hero of that round, K-Knight.
हिंदी डेस्क थी VCT पैसिफिक के फाइनल्स के टाइम पे तो VCT पैसिफिक के फाइनल्स तेरे भाई ने ही तो किए थे
IBR.
व्हाट्सएप करता हूँ पोस्ट पे
It doesn't matter because K-Knight came out of the link and just fries. That's his guard as well. Didn't catch that the first time around, but beautifully pings up Osboss.
रुक जा किधर है
One round between these two teams. You see the exec wall A this time. I love the exec out from BLG towards B, but nobody's home.
Yeah, it's just A one more time. Levius left alone.
And they invested a ton into that. The paranoia stunned the Hunter's Fury, the position. Quick TP across the map, though, as Rashia tries to get into the action A.
And they're going to have bodies here because of MIBR taking their sweet time, scaling forward. Now there's a smoke onto elbow. And MIBR, to succeed, are going to have to pop on out of it.
They have the tools to do it. Artsine has 2 flashes, Verno has a dart, Shenum has a paranoia.
भाई अगर आगे आता है
It rests on K-Knight.
Pushing forward.
मेरे को पता था अगर ये आगे आता है 2-3 मारेगा
For BLG, Artsine so weak, but counters, and now Levius fills in on the space.
खत्म कर दिया रे
Aspas a 1v4. 1v3 now. Ult pops, but he doesn't have his flank covered. Rashia cleans him up. We're tied at 3.
That's just back-to-back rounds where K-Knight's the best.
Yes, sir.
That quiet reclear. BLG
It was.
built these contact plays, these quiet steps back into space. And this time it comes after knowing, hey, they've pushed anyone out of B main space. They've got a couple players that made sure there's no one in mid.
You highlighted it perfectly, man. K-Knight was a guy who had to deliver on that fight. That's exactly what he did.
He did. Even there, Levius finding 2 kills, shoulder to shoulder with him.
3-3
Ask for. So MIBR go away from A and back to mid.
Still no timeout called from other side. Paranoia, just a little short.
It's because Osboss's pathing is different this time. Last time they heard the double dash in mid. It would have been hit by the Paranoia.
Shenum gets picked on B main too.
YZ.
A really nice spot. That stun's gonna connect. They have to out into it.
सब मुंह पे
Shoves the barrel of the Vandal down his
I am still saying ये defensive game मैप है
and now they can speed up towards A, but
नहीं
again,
है
down in numbers.
था
Hit,
लगता था
they
बट
have Hard Team's ult.
स्टार्टिंग में बट नाउ
नहीं नहीं, अबे मैं अभी भी देखो बोल रहा हूँ, पेपर थिन वॉल्स है ना, कहीं से भी स्पैम कर सकता है तू। अटैक में वो स्पैम करना टफ हो जाता है।
क्यों बता क्यों नहीं है? क्योंकि
K9 does a dart.
अटैकिंग
He's
में
been so
बहुत
good.
सारे
He's been so good.
चीजें कर सकता है।
हाँ हाँ वो पता है, तू मिड पे भतेरी चीजें कर सकता है।
It's like Nickelodeon in the 90s all over again. K9 with the dart drops it down onto the site. The spit will follow. Cortezia playing on the other side of it.
भाई क्या क्रेजी मारा ये।
Top of the pit. Cortezia
अरे
V2 and BLG's numbers advantage is just too much.
That was
The
insane.
pit drop
The
किया।
fact that Cortezia wasn't actually tagged by the dart there, it seemed like he was maybe in the
नहीं
perfect
करना
position
चाहिए था,
to
पता है।
capitalize. But Levius gets back in there, takes those kills, and gives BLG the lead. Enemy tag. So much riding off these two kills from Rusia.
That's I don't know how many rounds is that in a row now, where BLG are forced into like this awkward spot where somebody has to step up.
3 in a row. Back-to-back K9 and now Rusia.
Yeah. And if they're the ones who continue to answer that call, you look at someone across the stage to be able to do a bit of the same.
सही है, पार्टी कब दे रहा फिर?
Hasn't been
आजा।
the case these last couple rounds for MIBR.
No. Verno taken over early. Ospas had a couple of rounds, but
आजा भाई। हाँ बट आजकल मेरी पार्टियाँ थोड़ी रुकी सूखी रहती है। जस्ट लंच डिनर समथिंग ऐसा, नथिंग एल्स। So that is something you have to manage. बस मैंने पूरा पैकअप मार दिया है बाकी चीजों से।
Remember, Shenum got the 1v1 outside of B main, and he got bested ultimately. And I mean,
5 लोग देख रहे हो यार, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Let's go 4:3 BLG। भाई 2-0 होना चाहिए। मेरे को FNC RRQ जल्दी देखने गया है। FNC RRQ पहला होना चाहिए था, ये सेकंड गेम होना चाहिए था। ये जानबूझ के ये लोग ने ये फर्स्ट रखा है।
he's hanging out all the way back there.
Yeah, with Artein's ult online.
Can play for a faster rotate retake. What more of the idea is than that.
Oh.
You know, you'd expect Neff to be
Kaya.
so that the sensors stay up, but
This A-bomb coming in hot.
And the sensors go down. Cortezia has a lot to deal with here. 2 members of BLG have taken this space, trying to tuck their way into this so he could strike a little bit later as the rest of the defense starts to encroach in around the site.
Good patience.
They've lost the sight.
This is wild.
Has to.
Oi.
He has no idea.
Nah, bro.
Neff has his ult. YZ does too. Now Rusia creeping forward. Gets the best of Artein. Looking for a second and delivers. The paranoia will connect onto Aspas.
परफेक्ट था वो साइड देना, परफेक्ट था इनके लिए।
Emerge on top. That's just unreal.
इन्होंने जो साइड गिव अवे किया, वो सही साइड गिव अवे किया।
Right, they're still looking for the flanks, trying to deal with it, but they're looking the wrong way. Neff just pushed through A main. It doesn't matter if his sensors are down or whatnot. It's aggressive style from him, even choosing to split away from Rusia.
ये साइड गिव अवे करना इनको सही पड़ा, मतलब
But BLG,
साइड ये लोग ने ओपन वाइड ओपन छोड़ा था, देखेगा तो।
हाँ देखो, बट वाइपर नहीं मरता ना।
हाँ वही है अभी।
I remember we heard, you know, their pre-game talk before game 1 saying, "Let's get loud, let's hear some
वो
energy."
उधर क्यों देख रहा है? इसको पता ना चाहिए, पता है कि कोई तो पुश करेगा।
Number 4 seed from America starting to show some cracks. Again, pacey.
आयशी भाई आप पे सैंपल्स है तो मेरे को डिस्कॉर्ड पे भेजो।
हो जाता है पता है
हाँ
कि कौन पुश कर सकता है कभी-कभी राउंड में, वो सेंस होता है पता है।
वो देखो गेम तू खेलेगा तो देखो समझेगा, वो प्ले स्टाइल से ही समझेगा।
हाँ वही समझता है वो। प्ले स्टाइल पर है, बट क्या बोलते हो तू?
तेरे
ऐसा वैलोरेंट खेलेगा ना तो भी पता चलता है।
तेरा सिक्स सेंस तेरे को बता देता है भाई क्या हाँ अभी इसका पुश आ सकता है।
A main cleared out, a drone traded on the other side, only spotting Shenum.
वैसा नहीं, कोई भी आ सकता है,
Who has technically
में कोई
been
आ रहा है या नहीं आ रहा है वो
responsible for
पता चल
holding
जाता है।
this side
आ
of the
सकता है, नहीं आ
alliance.
सकता
हाँ
है, इस राउंड में ही आ सकता है।
इतनी देर में ये हो गया। अब इको है तो ये गन हो सकती है। वो फंडामेंटल्स है रे गेम के।
वो पता चलता है।
हागा बच गया।
There to best him.
That's the difference, though. Finally, now the flank has been dealt with. Now the acceleration into B, but there's already 3 players from BLG here.
Flash over the top. They're committing onto this, but the spike is rotating away.
और क्यों नहीं उठा?
Counter ultimate into the other side. Shenum behind enemy lines, and it's only
कॉल आया क्या भागने का?
रोटेट करना।
भागने का कॉल आ गया था क्या?
Elbow walled off by the deadlock. Neff could stop them in their tracks.
Wall, the only thing keeping them apart. But they have found safe passage through.
He's got a timing.
तो
He
फिर
could be everything
इंटरेस्ट
for
रहेगा
BLG.
कॉल।
A lot of the
मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना मेरे को डिस्कॉर्ड पे
First
सैंपल्स
found,
भेजो
now
ना।
they're gonna buy time. I don't think they can make their way out. The spike is still waiting. Neff holds the line. 5 seconds now.
प्लान कैसे करेगा?
हो गया ना 4 सेकंड है प्लांट हो जाएगा।
And Levy is not able to play spoiler. Now left in a 1v3.
वहाँ पे साइट वाले को मारा अब हाइलो से टप्पे मार दिया।
Artsing gets 3. MIBR gets
बहुत
a 4.
बहुत टाइम वेस्ट किया बता।
एकदम कट टू कट टाइम पे खेले ये लोग।
To go for the plant there.
हाँ अगर स्पाइक कैरियर को मार देता ना तो हो जाता था।
भाई करके हाँ वही कई को मारते थे
And it's in these slow
हो
rounds
जाता।
especially that I think Neff can be a monster.
राउंड हार जाते।
But MIBR
7 सेकंड तक एटलीस्ट देख।
against the deadlock wall.
लास्ट 4 सेकंड में तो प्लांट
Making the right call to pivot
ये लोग करने गए थे।
Lucia's omen ult. Head over towards
5
the
सेकंड पे
B
किया है
side.
शॉट।
It does feel like these rounds live or die by whether or not the flank
वही
is
बोला ना
controlled.
केओ को मारते तब उमन को
If BLG are
स्पाइक
able
उठा
to
के
continue to abuse
आगे
that,
जाके
they seem
प्लान
to
करने
find
में टाइम
success.
जाता है।
अभी भाई पोजी अच्छा है रशिया का।
Light from BLG.
Yeah, but it is Rashia on the other side. 7 and 7 so far. And K-Knight's not far off. Wall goes up, the spam through, that will connect.
शिवाल
He gets out.
पूरा ही तोड़ दिया।
Hunter Suri looking for a little bit more
सोहा को भी
damage.
खाया आधा।
Looks to join the fight, looks to join the site.
Yeah, Knight got tagged up by it. So now with K-Knight onto the site, MIBR, slow things down, start to creep back up into yard before they move on in.
और एक चीज तो नोटिस कर एंट्री ऑन इज
Just a bit. Playing this dangerous push and pull.
easy rather than entry on B.
Top of the spike, Verno now committing.
Another round to double flank for
हाँ,
BLG.
वो तो
this
है।
time
क्योंकि
on
A पे तेरे पे 2 जगह है घुसने के लिए। तू एल्बो भी जा सकता है, तू लेफ्ट साइड से भी जा सकता है।
He still gets his one though, and he buys time.
B पे जगह ही नहीं है।
Numbers advantage.
पी पे नहीं।
As the spike ticks
मिड
away,
से ज़्यादा
BLG are
मतलब
forced
थोड़ा
to answer very
difficult
quickly.
है।
Do they
भाई वो
make
बहुत
enough
लंबा
distance
मिड
to
पड़ता है
save?
रे।
They should have enough money to do so. So all eyes set forward. The dart, the wall,
वही तो बोला,
Cortezia on the
इसलिए तो बोला
swing, gets the
difficult
kill.
बोलता है।
K-Knight beat up a bit.
सेव करो।
Neff is rotating away. I think they're done here. You leave K-Knight out there to maybe try to get a kill, one off of his ult, but no. The weapon's more valuable.
Cortezia's movement there, real
पैसा है नहीं।
in front of the retake. Just catches Wisey in motion.
उसी होगा है मैं यार।
So we're all tied up now.
मैं अभी भी बोल रहा हूँ भाई ये मैप डिफेंसिव है।
Battle read
गेम
against
डिफेंस
each
में
other on
निकलेगा।
this opening half, but there's only 2 more rounds left to play.
बस तेरा इनिशिएटर अच्छा होना चाहिए
I
डिफेंस
do
में।
think for BLG, this felt
If you're playing Sova then
like
it's
we're
well
talking
and
about
good.
the number one team from the CN region. We knew this was
तो ओडिन लेके बैठ सकता है आराम से।
regardless of who they were playing against. So
No
honestly,
worries.
I'm more curious about how MIBR responded to this because the first map was a stomp. They were all confident. There really was no reason to doubt. It was happy days. But now that they're getting
मैं तो
punched
कभी-कभी
back in
सोचता हूँ
mouth,
भाई
how
ये
do
जो
they
हैशटैग
respond?
वन
How do they respond?
अपने अपने रीजन के हैशटैग वन की जो टीम्स है ना आर दीज ऑल टीम्स लकी या कैसा है?
क्यों?
क्योंकि एक बीएलजी हैशटैग वन आई मेरे को लगता है कि भाई बीएलजी से ज्यादा ईडीजी डिजर्विंग है उनके रीजन में। पहला चीज
डिपेंड करता है रे। ये डिपेंड करता है। If they are not performing well,
एक मैप तेरे को
Okay.
एक मैप या 2 मैप तेरे को एक मैं तेरे को बोलता हूँ 2-3 मैप या 2-3
तो
सीरीज
मैं तो तू ऐसा बोल सकता है क्या बोलते हैं RRQ क्यों है अभी चैंप्स में जेंजी जेदी
हाँ वही बात है ना। अब तो ये बोल रहा है जेंजी की तू बात कर रहा है। मैं तो एक चीज बोलता हूँ जेंजी डीआरएक्स तो भाई नसीब से ही पहुंचा है।
हाँ टैलन हार गए इसलिए।
हम लोग देख जो मैप मैं कास्ट जो सीरीज मैं कास्ट किया था वो सीरीज 2-0 थी, क्या बोलते हैं एट दैट मोमेंट टैलेंट वर 2-0 अप ना।
हाँ 2-0 से हारे वो।
फिर वो 3-2 हुए।
When he's got util in hand trying to stall out the choke, so Levius going up towards him, played a little more passively into
इफ टैलेंट जीतते तो टैलेंट ही था
retake setup is the right idea.
फाइनल्स में।
Paranoia flash.
सीधा हेवन।
Oh, and Levius is there to greet him.
That's crazy.
And now K9 filling in on the
मैं यही तो बोल रहा हूँ भाई, यहाँ पे ये साइट क्यों एंटर करनी है? ये साइट एंटर करने जैसा ही नहीं है बे। क्या बना है मेरे को अभी तक समझ नहीं आ रहा, ये साइट क्या बना है? प्लेयर भाग के भी नहीं जा सकता सीधा, वहां पे भी एक ऊपर वैसा एक रेलिंग टाइप कुछ बना के रखा है वो लोगों ने।
Out from BLG. Verno gets his 2, but Levius bests him with 3 and BLG take the lead.
Hey bे, Corrode is not a good map.
Last round in the half.
Not sure what
Breeze लाओ
MIBR
यार।
has seen in terms
हाँ?
of where players been playing on the B side. I don't think
ब्रीज लाओ चलो अभी पर्ल ला ले, स्प्लिट फिर से ला रहे हो।
असेंट और किसको बाय बाय बोल रहे हैं? लोटस को। ऐसे दो अच्छे मैप जा रहे हैं।
ब्रीज लाओ यार।
ब्रीज तो वापस आना ही नहीं है, सुन सुन ब्रीज वापस ही नहीं आएगा, कभी नहीं आएगा।
पर रखा क्यों है फिर?
जब तक कोई मेजर चेंज नहीं आता ना ब्रीज में, तब तक वापस जिंदगी में नहीं आएगा।
भाई कभी आएगा ही नहीं फिर तो पॉइंट ही नहीं है फिर।
भाई खत्म कर दिया रे, मैं बोला ना BLG कुत्ता बना के मारेगी। इट्स काइंड ऑफ एन इक्वल गेम, लेकिन BLG का अपर हैंड है इस मैप पे अभी तक तो।
अरे जीतेगी देख तू।
This one is weird. BLG have to be worried about that walkthrough on the A site. So what do? Control mid, stop the rotates, force Shenum to take the long way round. And what that means is that they have the opportunity to actually cut back in through mid and get onto this A site quick.
पहुंच जाएगा ये पे। प्लांट करने का कोई चांस है क्या कोटिसिया पे? हाँ है, प्लांट कर सकता है। फिर एक फ्रैग
प्लान कर सकते
नहीं मैं अल्ट की देख रहा हूँ। एक फ्रैग
the chance to maybe even step back towards spawn.
Yeah.
प्लांट वन फ्रैग अल्ट।
सही से प्लांट किया तो प्लांट सही से किया तो सही जगह पे।
नहीं, कोटिसिया इज नॉट प्लांटिंग। ये नहीं सोच रहे वो अल्ट वाला, ये एक फ्रैग कोटिसिया को मिला तो अल्ट आएगा।
YZ no wall, no stun. Spots one. Shenum 70 HP in such a tough spot. Cortezia waiting for the first challenge, waiting for it to arrive.
तीन दिखे एक्चुअली।
Like crawling on his skin.
दो
Shenum
दिखे।
falls. Cortezia left
Nice
alone
try.
1v3. YZ gets 4.
बस यही था। If Cortezia would have planted,
Straight through the
check
poison.
स्ट्रीम के बाद देखता हूँ।
Ounce of fear in his body.
तो तीनों के तीनों जिंदा रहे ना,
Dominating at the start of that
एक भी
round.
नहीं मरा है।
Seeing it through calmly as well. You can see in the replay as well. It's that same set piece like you mentioned. The net just making it so Verno had nowhere to go. Just fodder for the Hunter's Fury.
Steady aim from the duelist too. Out of YZ, we mentioned he's been a little quiet, but certainly
इसको सुने नहीं
in
दिया।
that last round.
BLG have woken up well and truly. Easing into this half. That's what we expected.
7-5 half for BLG. Let's send it down over to the stage. Lou is standing by with a very special guest. Lou.
किसकी मम्मा है? वर्नो की।
Of interviewing moms here in Paris, and Elizabeth, Verno's mom, you are no exception. So first of all, welcome to France. It's a pleasure to have you here. Merci. Very nice mercy from you too. And my first question is going to be, do we have a radiant mom here? Have you ever tried Valorant? What are your thoughts? Do you have a favorite agent maybe?
I tried to play Valorant and I asked Verno to teach me and he said, yeah, no.
What? He refused to teach his mom Valorant? Are you serious?
To learn Sova.
Yeah, so Sova is your favorite Asian, right? And he's doing awesome with it currently. Donc première question, est-ce qu'on a une maman radiant à nos côtés? Quel est son agent préféré?
वो अबे जिंग की मॉम का इंटरव्यू लिया था, अगर तूने देखा होगा तो। क्या बोला मालूम है? इसने पूछा था जिंग की मॉम को कि why do you travel with your son so often? जवाब क्या दिया मालूम है?
क्या?
जिनको अपना लगेज पैक
बच्चा
करना नहीं आता, इसके लिए मेरे को जाना
बच्चा है
पड़ता
वो, बच्चा है,
है।
सिंपल लॉजिक है। वो 20-22 साल का है,
हाँ तो मेरे जितना ही है,
20 साल का।
मेरे को भी उतना ही आता है जितना उसको आता है।
हाँ, तो वही तो है ना। मैं अभी अभी मतलब 2 साल पहले सीखा हो सही से, 2-3 साल पहले।
लगेज पैकिंग
3
ना
साल पहले दादा, 4 साल।
अकेले रह रहे के सीख गया तू वैसा।
हाँ, नहीं तो मुझे भी नहीं आता था। सिंपल है, वही चीज होती है।
पूरा का पूरा अरीना हंसने लगा था, बोलता है रिवीलिंग द एरिया हो गया।
इसका अभी जो दिखा तो वो
नहीं नहीं, वो इसके जिंग की मोम वाला जो इंटरव्यू हुआ ना,
अच्छा 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 अच्छा,
मैं तेरी बात समझ गया, ठीक है रहने दे।
समझा। तो उसी पॉइंट पे अभी तुरंत बोला 10 सेकंड में।
तो कुछ गलत समझा, ठीक है।
समझा समझा।
पूरी चैट हंस रही थी।
ठीक है, कोई 20 साल के बच्चे से क्या ही एक्सपेक्ट करोगे?
कितना एक्सपेक्ट करोगे भाई, क्या नहीं कितना ही एक्सपेक्ट करोगे। वो अपनी फील्ड में प्लस
क्योंकि वो 10-10 घंटे 12-12 घंटे
वालो खेलता है।
प्रैक्टिस कर रहा है, वालो खेल रहा है।
फिर बेचारा 1-2 घंटा खुद पे वर्क कर रहा है। ही सेड कि वो मतलब कुछ थोड़ा बहुत फिजिकल एक्टिविटी करता है 1-2 घंटा।
वो करना पड़ता है, प्रोफेशनल वालों को करना पड़ता है।
अबे नहीं तो बॉडी आलसी हो जाती है, ये मेरे साथ हुआ था बीच में।
हाँ।
फिर मैंने मेरा वापस चालू किया वॉकिंग, और ये चालू किया था, खेलना चालू किया था और वॉकिंग स्टार्ट किया था, तो मैं थोड़ा सा ऐसा एक्टिव हो गया था वापस।
क्योंकि हाथ को भी आराम लगता है, नहीं तो हाथ दुखने लगेगा।
बहुत पेन होता है भाई, डर रहता है टेनिस एल्बो का।
वही तो,
क्योंकि तेरा जो हैंड है, दोनों हैंड तेरा एक सर्टेन मूवमेंट में मूव कर दे, एक सर्टेन डायरेक्शन में ही मूव कर दे। शॉट नहीं
पड़ी रे पड़ी, वैसे तो
मार सकता था एक और आसपास।
दो लोग आए ना, तो ये मिलता है हमेशा।
Your only guy with health is not with the rest of the team. And for as much as we've talked about Aspas, Verno has been just as good. Drops the shot,
बच
tries to
गया।
buy a little bit of time. 13 seconds
Nice।
left, realizing if he just wins this fight now.
एक राइट क्लिक बॉडी पे भी लग गया तो जीत जाओगे, खत्म, 5 सेकंड हो गया, जीत गया।
And as the hourglass strips away, the spike is out of reach.
ए छी कॉर्टिसिया।
It's actually worse for them. They go ahead and hunt down the kill anyways. Another ult on for Artsen.
They got their pistol though, and that was something that, I mean, they needed, something that they struggled with. Really, all of stage 2.
Yeah, you think, yeah, stage 2 was a struggle. This game though.
उसने डबल डिंक मारा और फिर जंप किया सोवा ने, जंप नहीं किया रहता ना तो सोवा भी मरता था। शिवा kill this guy.
He tried. Alright, yeah, we will see what the adjustments are. This time it's just a Marshall and hands Aspas.
You can't give them a Phantom if you don't buy the Phantom.
Right, but you can
फिर
still
से?
lose the opening pick if YZ gets another one with a Frenzy. Artine trying to fill in, YZ on an island, Shenum and Artine both side by side, getting the best.
Wrong side to enter.
Just a tiny sliver of health for the remaining controller. Verno will snap.
मैं बोलता हूँ भाई कोरोड पे बी साइट ही बंद कर देनी चाहिए, एक ही साइट होनी चाहिए।
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna ask it. I'm gonna say it. Where was this team in stage 2?
अबे काम का ही नहीं है भाई, बी साइट कैसे काम, अटैकर्स के लिए मेरे को बता, तू बी पे कैसा एंट्री करेगा, क्या कर लेगा तू एंटर कर। भतेरे एंगल है, 3 तो एंगल ऐसे ओपन एंट्रेंस पे 3 नहीं 4 एंगल है, हेवन भी तेरे को देखना पड़ता है। क्योंकि उधर से भी स्पैम आता है।
अभी
1 2 3 भाई
नाइस वन।
फ्लैश और हिंडर का बहुत अच्छा कॉम्बिनेशन था।
That was unbelievable.
Waylay believers rejoice.
भाग एस के लिए भाग।
He knows
Nice
what
one.
the people want. Question is whether or not he gets a chance to do it. He is one on
भाई क्राउड मस्त, क्राउड को मस्त दे के रखा है रे, मजा आता है बे। एम्बियंस के लिए एम्बियंट साउंड बहुत अच्छी है।
We'll see if he can find it. They know where he is.
दिया एस।
To the stage and does it with an ace.
Long have
भाई बच्चे पागल हो गए इस केस पे।
Aspas is back. Look at this play. I mean,
वो फ्लैश के भाई, वो फ्लैश के साथ हिंडर का क्या कॉम्बिनेशन है रे।
trying to jump away, and they're just caught in the air. That was so sick.
क्या कॉम्बिनेशन है भाई, मजा आ गया।
आती है ना,
And
Huh?
that dog
इसकी
was
अल्ट भी
the
सेक्सी है।
bonus. A completely
इस
different
एजेंट की
story
अल्ट भी
to the
सेक्सी है।
first half.
हे अबे मैं तेरे को यही तो बोला, अभी ओडिन करने बैठ जाएगा। ले भाई अभी अभी खेल लो, अभी घुस ही नहीं पाओगे।
Bravo Odin onto the field and already getting a kill.
बोला कुत्ता जैसे मारेंगे।
अब मैं तेरे को क्या बोला, डिफेंस में नहीं, अरे डिफेंसिव गेम ही है पूरा।
BLG. And yes, they're still in this. Yeah, they have an
Defensive है,
opportunity to
if you
fix this. But
properly
this all beautiful Aspas
करेगा
continues to
ना,
push the pace.
ये ले एक,
Overcooked. But Verno's
ये
there.
खींच लिया रे।
This is danger. This is not secure. This is not safe.
And the annihilation just plucked up Shenum. This is
2v3.
now BLG with a numbers advantage. They don't have the rifles, and there's 2 players now on the
जीत
flank for
सकते हैं।
MIBR.
दो लोगों की हेल्थ नहीं इतनी।
Timing is everything. Artsine
अरे रे रे रे
hear that? He did hear it. Still fall, but he doesn't get the kill.
भागा।
The MasterCard Thrifty is BLG.
दोगुना
swing
हरा।
back.
There is just absolutely no way.
ये राउंड थ्रो होने जैसा नहीं था। आगे
He should have
बे
never
इसके
gotten away
इसके हाथ
with
में क्या
that.
था,
I
पिस्तौल
mean,
था?
they heard Levius pick up the gun.
नहीं,
They
गन थी।
see the gun coming out of the poison orb. Levius still
देखो इंस्टा पे कुछ भेजा है देख।
and get the second.
अभी भेजा।
अभी 1 सेकंड हुआ।
A roller coaster of emotions for Fraud. No real time to think it through as we're right back into the next. And op online for Aspas.
Okay.
Early knife, early spam, 2 found. But no blood
चलना है।
drawn.
चलो चलो चलो,
बोरिया बिस्तर लेके चलो।
बोरिया बिस्तर लेके चलो।
And now MIBR.
वीजा अप्लाई करते हैं, चलो निकलते।
Telltale sign will be the reader of A main. K-Knights come over here. There is a drone, and they need to use that to deal with this operator.
That's exactly what they'll do. You see
चलो।
Aspas repositioning. Still a chance to make a play.
1
Another one.
2 हाँ अभी बरोबर मार रहे। 3
One to Nev. Just like that, they respond.
This is a round of 4v5 after the disaster that was round 16. Osbosh and Shenum have just...
There was one comment.
मैंने रीड नहीं किया, मैं तो खाली देख के भेज दिया तेरे को।
Where can we watch the match?
Looking for a little bit of room, a little comfort, a little space. to
स्ट्रीम
breathe.
किधर होएगा?
Flight down,
String कहाँ पे होगा?
but not fully committing onto it yet. Setting up in the crossfire first.
Sports channel पे
Cheeky
होगा?
little lurk out from Verno, and the spike goes down.
देख टीवी पे तो हो नहीं सकता।
The spit, the dart, any info would be devastating for
Crash sports
BLG.
पे होगा रे।
But they try to dig their heels in. So far, gone off undetected. We've seen some silly.
Hey,
rounds.
timing!
There's gonna be another one. K-Knight on the swing, but Aspas and Shenum cleaned it up. 3 on the round for the controller, who had a very quiet start.
Oh yeah,
As MIBR take the lead back.
but you
Nice
forget all
one.
about that after the 2 kills he just found. BLG's mid players. I'm sure we're going to see it again. His first shot onto YZ was jumping. Sprint jumping to try and break the crosshair. This is after RT went down early, but it's that kill there into the reset. So nice.
And Nev had a
ये
chance
मैच
at it,
कोई
but
भी नहीं हारा,
very well
जीता
done.
नहीं है।
हाँ
सीएन रीजन में से एक भी कोई जीता नहीं है।
पूरा मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, पूरा रीजन ही डिस्ट्रॉयड लग रहा है।
एक्सेल जी हारा, बिलीबिली हार रहा है, देन ईडीजी हारा, डीआरजी हारा।
भाई पूरा रीजन ही डिस्ट्रॉयड लग रहा है मेरे को। एंड लास्ट होप फॉर अमेरिकाज इज एनआरजी आई वुड से। इस साल एनआरजी कुछ अलग ही लग रही है मेरे को।
अभी T1 जीती ना, क्या बोलते हैं, टीएस नहीं आएगी ना आगे, तो पेपर एक्स आराम से जीतेगी फाइनल्स।
टीएस सीक्रेट क्या है?
हाँ, हेरिटिक्स।
अच्छा हेरिटिक्स, मेरे को टीएक्स सुनाई, टीएस सुनाई दिया।
टीएस
हाँ हेरिटिक्स तो हाँ बराबर है। मतलब उसमें भी देख, हेरिटिक्स में भी कैसा है ना, बेंजी फिशी के ऊपर है रे। बू और मिनी बू चल मारते हैं, पर बेंजी फिशी पे ज्यादा ये रहता है।
वो तो है।
It absolutely is, especially when you look across the aisle and you see Aspas 20 kills to 10 deaths after the worst tournament in his career, which was Toronto, now lighting up the server on the waylay of all things.
हाँ साला, एक और वही चीज है, वेले ले क्या मार रहा है इतना।
और गलती से MIBR आई ना फाइनल्स में,
ये पागल हो नहीं, ये फाइनल्स ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में पागल हो जाता है ये। मेरे को आज तक समझ नहीं आता भाई, FNC वो लॉक इन जीती कैसे थी 3-11 से।
एंटी
स्ट्रैट्स कुछ नहीं, 1-2 राउंड एक्चुअली कैसा मेरे को क्या लगा, 1-2 राउंड लेजिट थ्रो हो गया पता है। एक राउंड मेरे को याद आता है 1v1 था डर के, और इसका डर के मिड से भागते हुए गया था। डर के नहीं सॉरी, ये मिड से भागते हुए गया था।
इसको दिखा नहीं क्या?
वॉक इन क्रॉस फायर में वॉक इन मैं बोला ना, क्रॉस फायर में वॉक इन। ये अल्टी मारना जरूरी थोड़ी था।
MIBR by stealing away that fight into mid, taking YZ out of the equation. Not only does it ruin
इसमें तीसरी यूटिल देखा, क्रॉस फायर तो था ही, वल्नरेबल अलग किया था।
इसने किया था ना हाइपर।
हाँ वो देख, वल्नरेबल होके भाग के आ रहे थे।
Runs all the way back to B to hold that 180-degree crossfire. Shenum in the pocket. And also the timing of the utility was perfect.
बहुत ज्यादा हाइप डे बे।
And so it was almost easy.
ठीक है तुम लैंड पे हो, अग्रीड, हाइप रहती है इतनी। राउंड चालू होके 8 सेकंड हुआ था। क्या है ये स्पैम्स?
Finds a little bit of timing. Cortezia is the one with the op now.
Yeah, of course the Vipers got the operator. Osboss wanted to have a rifle round.
BLG have lost full control of the situation right now.
भागो भाग जा। अरे वो तो भाई मैं भी MIBR ही किया था। मेरा सिर्फ एक प्रेडिक्शन गलत हुआ है अभी तक, DRG वाला।
Coming up to join this MIBR squad.
अच्छा
मैंने DRG प्रेडिक्ट किया था, और सेंटिनल्स वाला। हाँ सेंटिनल्स वाला भी गलत हुआ।
मैंने G2 किया था, मैंने हेरिटिक्स नहीं किया था।
मैंने हेरिटिक्स किया था।
किया था मैंने।
इसमें तो मैंने MIBR ही किया था।
नेक्स्ट मैप फैनेटिक किया
मैंने भी फैनेटिक ही किया है।
Does he stick that ult? Yes, he does. No smoke to conceal it either. Ooh. So a little game of cat and mouse as Verno rotates around looking for.
Yeah, Omen mara.
The wrong way.
Yeah, he's looking for the hunter, but he's the.
नहीं बच गया टाइम में।
The wolf Verno
कटेगा
finally
बच
gets away.
भाई मरा ही मरा
Everything going right for MIBR. And now they can turn their attention back over to A, where yes, all of BLG are. The wall will cause problems. But
कैसे मार रहे रे कैसा मार रहे क्या है ये
MIBR need. Cortezia gets two.
ये इधर क्या है
Neff
इधर से कुछ नहीं कर सकता वैसे भी।
isolated. Trying to hang on to this spike, trying to hang on to position, trying to hang on
खुद ही
to
फंस
ground.
गया
But his grip is slipping.
खुद ही फंस गया वो रैप अराउंड का क्यों किया उसने
वही तो बोला तेरा ब्लैक कर रहा है
क्या स्ट्रीम
बहुत पीछे है तू बहुत स्ट्रीम नहीं मैं तेरे स्ट्रीम पे देख ही नहीं रहा हूँ
नहीं मेरे में राउंड खत्म हो के अभी रिप्ले चल रहा है 116 115
मैं बताता हूँ रुक जा नेक्स्ट राउंड चालू होंगे फिर बताता हूँ
And these rounds are getting chaotic as well.
Nice,
BLG are
17,
throwing
16,
everything
15,
they've got
14,
at MIBR.
13,
The ultimate into the back
12,
lines.
11,
Verno's doing
10,
his best detective
9,
vision to figure out where this
8,
guy is at.
मैं 17-16 मेरा अभी हुआ है
MIBR somehow seeing
बोला ना
chaotic round.
रिफ्रेश कर लेता हूँ
वाइपर ने अल्ट मारी
अभी रिफ्रेश किया मैंने मेरा राउंड अभी स्टार्ट हुआ है नहीं कर सकते कुछ मैं ट्विच पे देख रहा हूँ फिर भी वैसे ही चल रहा है अभी अल्ट मारी मेरे में
दोनों ने वाइपर ने अल्ट मारी है
हाँ अभी मैं सेकंड वाइपर ने मेरे में अब अल्ट मारी है ठीक है जो भी है
इसने क्यों हटा दी बट
And as one goes down, you see BLG hang on to theirs.
MIBR have to be worried though. Mid space is a question mark they're not really sure about. They don't know if people have stepped up into the pit. Now the net as well, they're stuck in the open.
Paranoia is going to tag onto Shenum. He's got to be careful here. The Hunter Fury will join as Kana tries to line it up with YZ, following the red carpet that's been rolled out. The site is now theirs.
ना 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 उसका अल्टी जाने देता अच्छी था
Can they close this out? MIBR plenty of money.
स्पैम कंटिन्यू करता तो मर जाता शायद दूसरा भी
They take a step back, they let it reset.
MIBR have Artsin on the flank. He will be the way back into the round now for MIBR.
दिखा रहे वो
He's got to get these kills though, not able to find him.
नाइस ट्राई
Last boss left in a 1v4. Tries to slip his way through, position given away.
प्रॉब्लम सिर्फ एक अल्ट ड्रॉप नहीं करनी थी
वही तो बोला अल्ट क्यों ड्रॉप की इसने
To the Viper's pit being dropped down in main there, countering out with one of their own, then signaling into the site.
नहीं मार पाता शायद बट तो भी उतना डैमेज तो खा लेते
डिकेड रहते थे
हाँ वही
He's just a sitting duck. Follow up from YZ there is nice as well.
And Aspas just showing a little leg, and that's what cost him his life. But MIBR able to invest into this. They still have Nodin, they still have an op, and they still have Artzin's ult.
Is the solution just be execs for BLG? Is that really it? You know, they've played a few of these rounds where they step up into B main and then drop down that sensor to stop any refight coming through from MIBR. So this time it isn't that acceleration into the site again.
Aspas is up really far. Remember, he's got the op. He's got to clear the drone.
Dashed out 1 2 3
The lineup.
So BLG
दो दिख गए मिड पे
नहीं घुसेंगे कितनी जल्दी अभी
भी रुक जाएंगे बी मेन के बाद नहीं अब जाएंगे ये लोग
One big difference here is this. Artin was on the other side of the map previously. Now he can stall this hit out with his ult.
and that deadlock
बहुत stall किया लोग ने
busted down by Verno's Odin.
The question is, do BLG just wait for this to go out and then they re-hit?
They have to. They have no space anywhere else on the map. They've decided to stop playing for lurks or anything like this. Now they're tagged up 3 players spotted. Tells MIBR everything they need to know.
They're not rotating off of it.
Both teams know what's about to go down is a matter of skill.
They're not scurrying back B. The spam through from Verno.
Damyungir what oh
Verno gets another. And now the ult pop. Artzine paves the way. K-Knight left in a 1.
GG.
And he will fall. They might be fit for a glass slipper after all. MIBR shock the world and take down BLG.
जीतेंगे
It would be the most incredible.
मैं देखो क्या बोला है डिफेंसिव वहाँ पे ओनली रीजन बी साइड है
कोलेट्रल
हाँ अभी बोलना डिस्कॉर्ड, तू क्या बोल रहा था, डिस्कॉर्ड का क्या सीन लग रहा है तेरे को?
तो अपडेट किया
भाई बोल तो रहा हूँ, अनइंस्टॉल करके इंस्टॉल कर लिया। क्या
क्या दिख रहा है तुझे, क्या आ रहा है?
आ ही नहीं रहा है, कुछ आ ही नहीं रहा है स्क्रीन पे।
एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर कर, राइट क्लिक करके।
लोड होता है, लोड होने के बाद कुछ आता ही नहीं है।
तो स्ट्रीम पे दिखा रहा है?
नहीं रुक, देखो मैं इस पे स्क्रीन शेयर कर लेता हूँ। दिख रहा है?
दिख रहा है।
ये देख।
एक मिनट रुक जा, एक मिनट रुक जा। हाँ बोलना। कुठे तू? कुठला फ्लायओव्हर? क्या आलो, 5 मिनिट आलो। दिखा।
ये देख अभी।
हेलो।
हाँ ये देख, डिस्कॉर्ड है।
हाँ
रन एज एडमिन, लोडिंग स्क्रीन आई, अभी कुछ होगा ही नहीं।
सुन सुन सुन, एक काम कर। हाँ उधर से कर, राइट क्लिक कर। हाँ वो भी नहीं, मत कर, सॉरी। सर्च मार डिस्कॉर्ड। एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर एक ही है डिस्कॉर्ड, पहले राइट साइड होता है हमेशा।
थोड़ा सा लोडिंग होता है, अभी कुछ आएगा ही नहीं।
तूने अनइंस्टॉल करके इंस्टॉल किया?
हाँ रुक जा, अभी मैं तेरे को सेटिंग्स में भी बताता हूँ। एप्स, इंस्टॉल्ड एप्स। साले इतने ब्लू स्टैक्स क्या कर रहे हैं, मेरे को ही नहीं पता।
पहले कंट्रोल पैनल ओपन कर। यहाँ से कब कब देखता है तू?
मैं दोनों साइड से देखता हूँ, कंट्रोल पैनल से भी देखता हूँ, इससे भी देखता हूँ।
कंट्रोल पैनल से देखना होता है। इसका कुछ तो लफड़ा है, इसको अनइंस्टॉल कर।
होना भी तो चाहिए, हो भी नहीं रहा ना। हो गया।
इंस्टॉल मार, डाउनलोड कर।
क्या डाउनलोड करूँ?
डिस्कॉर्ड।
डिस्कॉर्ड का सेटअप पहले से है, तो वो उससे ही करूँ कि नया करूँ?
डाउनलोड कर।
ये देख।
कर ले। कब का है वो?
ये देख, डाउनलोडिंग अपडेट आया।
टॉस
चेकिंग फॉर अपडेट, गोल गोल घुमा। होना भी तो चाहिए भी। इसमें भी नहीं दिख रहा अब तो।
इधर से विंडोज की दवा और इसका दवा। पीसी रिस्टार्ट कब किया था?
रीस्टार्ट मतलब विंडो ड्राइवर रीस्टार्ट।
पीसी
रीस्टार्ट तो कब टाइम हो गया, मतलब रीस्टार्ट आज अभी ऑन किया था स्ट्रीम से पहले, मतलब पीसी ऑन तो अभी किया था।
रिस्टार्ट बोल रहा हूँ मैं, रिस्टार्ट
मतलब
बोल रहा
टाइम
हूँ,
हो गया,
शट डाउन नहीं बोल।
टाइम हो गया, टाइम हो गया।
तो रिस्टार्ट करना होता है। रुक जा, मैं 10 मिनट में आया, फिर बात करते हैं। ठीक है, मैं आया।
मेजरली गाइस पूरा पीसी अभी खाली कर रहा हूँ मैं। जब तक अपन वर्डल कर लेते हैं गाइस। क्या हो सकता है गाइस? अरे मेरा फेस क्या में दिख रहा है बाबा रे। हाँ देखो, L is not on the right space. O and N are. ठीक है. भाई साहब, ऐसे मोमेंट पे मेल किसका आता है रे? अरे तो और क्या वर्ड होता है भाई? ये लेट्स गो. कनेक्शंस आज थोड़ा टफ होगा, मंडे है ना. टाइल लैमिनेट वर्ड कारपेट. स्पार्क. शोर घोस्ट. Banshee. Sure, Ghost is there. Bank. परफेक्ट. ना 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 है भाई, है. तुम्हारे भाई को है रे, वर्ड्स का नॉलेज है, टेंशन नहीं है. कनेक्शन. वन अवे. केमिस्ट्री कनेक्शन. स्पार्क. फायरवर्क्स. फायरवर्क्स कैसे रोमांटिक हो सकता है? ये तो मैंने ठीक है फायरवर्क्स और स्पार्क को एक जगह किया, नहीं तो मेरा कुछ था ही नहीं भाई. और ये लास्ट वाला मेरे को कभी समझता ही नहीं है. मेंबर ऑफ अ क्लासिकल बैकिंग बैंड, नहीं पता भाई. बैंड्स के बारे में बिल्कुल आइडिया नहीं है, सॉरी. बिल्कुल भी आइडिया नहीं है. Are these guys on stage now? Yup, they are. They are just warming up right now. And the mini. सब्सक्राइब करना पड़ेगा ना बाबा. ना सब्सक्राइब कौन करेगा, पागल भी. वेडल कर लेते हैं तब तक. एजेंट. पहला ब्रिमस्टोन ही करेंगे. मेल है, कंट्रोलर नहीं है. अभी 2020 में आया था. मेल में कौन कौन? अभी फिनिक्स. 2020 में फिनिक्स भी आया था. सेकंड गैस में सही हो गया. सही है भाई. डेडलॉक. हे रेना दी. माय बैड, सॉरी. बाइंड है. तो भी लिंक.
Spike planted.
प्लांट हुआ है, डैशिंग करता है.
Enemy kill.
One pings. One pings. One window, one bottom.
टैप इसने पीछे गया.
One pillar.
डबल
Aw,
पिक.
at least it's
I'm smoking two.
One enemy remaining.
फ्लैट और डायमंड.
Spike planted.
बोला ना, फ्लैट और डायमंड. इससे ज्यादा कुछ था ही नहीं. नहीं पता है कौन है भाई। किसका एबिलिटी है भाई? है नया एजेंट और इसकी एबिलिटीज। हाँ बट फ्रेंजी है। बोल्ट तो है ही नहीं यार। बोल्ट मेरे को भी पता है नहीं है। कॉम्बैट नहीं, लास्ट एक्स नहीं है, एरो फ्रेंजी नहीं, स्कूपिंग फ्रेंजी भी नहीं है। स्कूपिंग फ्रेंजी तो है मेरे पास, कोई लिफ्टिंग कोबरा नहीं है। रश फ्रेंजी है। 7 बहुत टाइम लगा। डोंट वरी एवरीवन, आई वोंट टेल देम। भाई आज बहुत गलत हो रहा।
Don't worry, everyone. I won't tell them what scares you. Promise. Don't worry, everyone. I won't tell them what scares you. Promise.
कौन है?
Don't worry, everyone. I won't tell them what scares you. Promise.
नियॉन है नहीं। नियॉन नहीं है ये, पता था ये नियॉन नहीं है। डोंट वरी एवरीवन, आई वांट फेड है। मैं खेलता नहीं इतना, इसके लिए मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा था। टाइम है अभी 3 मिनट। अच्छा है रे वॉच पार्टी, इसके अंदर ये टाइम पास बढ़िया है। बॉडीज सिल्वर
One enemy remaining.
ग्राउंड सिल्वर ब्रॉन्ज था। कैम लगा हुआ है बराबर, पांचों एक साथ आ रहे हैं बराबर। राइफर कैम तोड़ कोई नहीं रहा है।
¡No ¡Escapa!
सोवन ने अल्टी मारी ब्रिम खेल रहा है लौंडा आयरन
Cenizas. Cortina de humo.
Ahora me toca a mí divertirme.
Bien colocado.
आयरन
4 de 5.
Queda uno.
आयरन भाई आयरन
Recargando. See ya. My ult's ready.
नियॉन की वो स्पाइक ले गया उधर है
Who trained you?
One enemy remaining.
आयरन
That's the lot of them.
भाई साहब सारे के सारे आयरन जैसे ही थे
We have seen this matchup once already this year. This time, coming onto the champion stage, Fnatic are not the kings they used to be. But RRQ, oh my goodness, they look great in Pacific, and their region is the only one that are undefeated so far at Champions.
Yeah, many of you at home voted for that undefeated streak to continue. Sunset Vine taken away, maybe not so surprising. Fnatic, though, opt to pick the Ascent.
Some
They
will
are
be
1
upset
and
about
3
that.
on this map in stage 2.
Some will be very frustrated with Fnatic picking Ascent. I'm hoping they can bounce back on it because they were such a trendsetter bringing the Chamber into that map around Toronto. And like I was mentioning prior, RRQ let Ascent through constantly, and they're 1 and 4 on the map. They have not looked great there. They've made multiple comp switches. They're even trying to play Tejo on the map, still not working. So I think that if they continue to flounder, even if Fnatic aren't at their best again, maybe they can just still beat a weaker RRQ.
Similarly, yeah, RRQ been really testing a bunch of different comps on this map. They tried the Waylay. Now it looks like they're folding in Tejo and Yoru to try and see if that gets them any value, like alongside the Sova. So this map, for me, is proof of how the teams have been working in the offseason. In the lead up to this event, this is going to be a great fruits of their labor demonstration to start a series.
The Abyss, obviously an unknown. It wasn't an amazing map for either team at the beginning of the year. I want to kind of even rate Fnatic's lower than RRQ's, but bit of a toss-up. And then Corrode, I'm just thinking about the X-Pharaoh versus Talon dropping 20 kills on attack, 20 for 5 on just attack Viper. He has been amazing this last stage. I rate him so highly. I think he's playing the best Valorant he has all year as of late.
This really worries me because we look at the map pool, and for me, again, I think it's the weakest map pool for Fnatic ever in the history of their organization. And when you look at the 3 maps they have to play, usually they get a crutch. They get their Lotus, they get their Haven, they get their Icebox, they get their Fracture. They get one map where it's traditionally they're the kings of. And in this, they are not the kings of any of this. This is just a completely new territory.
All right, like I'm favoring them on Ascent, but it has less to, well, yes, a little bit, but it honestly, for me, has less to do with their level and more to do with RRQ just not having an identity there, not being able to figure it out at all. At least Fnatic have an identity, but also, do they stray away from it? Do they give up the chamber and move on?
I love the Bind ban, because if Bind was in there, that would have been, you know, the Fnatic home ground, the Fnatic thing where they are good at. And now they don't have any strong maps, so this is a tricky situation.
I love what you said, though, off camera or off mic as we came into this. So this feels like a true rematch. Like, neither of these teams have changed materially in terms of personnel since that event. And I have flashbacks to just watching Alpha Year destroy RRQ on that Ascent defense side. Always seemed to be exactly where he had to be. The Chamber is something I'm going to be looking at very closely if that's what we get from Agent Select here. It's a style I think Fnatic can definitely lean into.
हर्ष भाई व्हाट्स अप क्या हाल कैसे हो हर्ष भाई who is winning this one man कोई था ही नहीं चैट में तो हम थोड़ी देर फोन चला रहे थे
in Toronto. This
हम
is an
भी बोर हो रहे थे
experienced RRQ.
क्योंकि अभी
This
तक
is
तो
their second time on the global stage.
Alpha is playing Sage. It's a paper X. This is a paper X.
I mean, the Sage was very old on this map and is now back and is very new since the recent buffs.
You have
आलस अब कोई चैट में नहीं है तो क्या करेंगे
extremely good stopping power for
बट अच्छा ठीक है बॉनेट ब्रिम से वापस से आ गया है दैट्स ऑल गुड लेकिन फनाटिक विद दैट सेज अल्फा प्लेइंग सेज एंड नॉट
When
Chamber?
this comp, they're starting on attack. When they get the spike down, this comp excels at being able to stop.
ठीक है सिंगल योरू समझ में आता है दोनों ही तरफ से सेज है चेंबर नहीं क्यों
Not going to be able to do that when you're getting slow orbed, hit by thorns. RRQ are going to struggle if Fnatic are able to get that spike down, get into the sights.
They got experience, right? This the last time they played against Fnatic, the Chamber.
उनको
it
take
was
over
a
को देख
knockout.
रहा
They've never seen
अबुई
it before.
what is
We've
अबुई
never
bro
seen it before, heck. But this is the comp that Paper Rex play in their own region. You got to be pretty happy if you're RRQ.
Yeah. I mean, they do have the
अच्छा
experience.
टेक
against it,
ओवर
but an
esports
experience in
ओके
which They took an L, so maybe they can bounce
वहाँ
back
कैसे आना
and
हुआ
prove that they've learned from that.
वहाँ देखो कास्टर क्लिप कास्टर क्लिप सबमिट किया था एंड टेक ओवर के इंस्टाग्राम पर मैंने बात की है किसी से इंस्टाग्राम पे आई चेक कि यू नीडेड कास्टर्स तो भाई मैंने मेरा पोर्टफोलियो भेजा था मैंने मेरा पोर्टफोलियो भेजा है
What an
तुम्हारे
exciting way
इंस्टाग्राम
to
जो भी
start here. I
मैनेज कर
can't
रहा है
wait to jump into a Sen, and I can't wait.
पोर्टफोलियो तो
to
क्या ही
throw it
भेजा है
over
सिर्फ
to
एक ही
Francis,
इवेंट का
Mitch,
भेजा है
and Tom.
उसी इवेंट में वो भाई तृप्त हो गए थे
Well, it's the champs debut for RRQ, who are back for revenge against the team that ended their run in Toronto. Rosters, well, they look the same, but we've
उसमें क्या
got
होता
a
है
new
किसमें
map pool, and with Corona and Abyss already locked in, this is going to be an exciting matchup.
Yeah, I think also just you look at Fnatic going into this map in general, their strengths haven't really been there, and sure, a pretty hefty defeat, struggling on that attack
Restriction
side
clause isn't
when
going
playing
for
versus this
us.
comp for
Okay,
RRQ,
man,
but
totally.
defensively on this map, they've always been pretty good. So a defense side start for RRQ, this could be a very different story. And you've now lost what is that alpha year aggressive entry playing on the chamber and replaced it with a
तो
Sage.
कास्टर
So
का
I wanna
बता रहे
see
थे
what sort of attack side
अरे दे
ideas
नीडेड अ
Fnatic have,
कास्टर
because
तो
sure, I think this
मैंने
could be
वही
great
बात
on
किया वो लोग
defense.
से बस
Will it be good on a
Defensive ideas from RRQ and the pistol firing squad in mid, waiting for
अच्छा
that
क्या
spot.
था मिड पे चार बंदे एक साथ
Shots fired, but none landed.
थैंक यू
Make the first move. As RRQ just have to fall back now, play that more defaulty play. Mid a
Thank
bit
you so
more open.
much.
And looks like they might even be thinking about going in towards mid. Certainly with the reveal, here's some util following it up, but a lot of this is posturing from the defensive
ये क्या
side.
बवाल
They're
चीज़
trying
आया
to make a
अब?
favorable
You
engagement,
subscribed,
happen to
ना?
find something when the reveal pops off, but Fnatic are quick to deny it. And again, it's back to covering their bases.
सुपर चैट करोगे तो इससे भी बवाल चीज है
renowned for this slow style. It was mentioned by Wyatt, and I agree that getting into those post
FNC,
plants, they're going to be tough to
Going
beat,
B
especially
now,
in a
इतना
pistol
कुछ
round.
करने के बाद
That
they're
wall
going
is
B.
going to be devastating, but they are walking into a stack up. 3 players on this side of the map. They're slowed as well by that smoke being into position.
ओए
Alfie
डिफॉल्ट
doesn't look
वॉल
like he's going
जो
to use that wall
विंडो
on
वाली
the
है
post plant at all.
Oh, he's going up into the window as the exec comes through. Kayak already dropped, and here's Alfier's opportunity. He's being
One.
spotted, still manages to find one.
Two.
He's pulling them back into this. Opening pick for RRQ, but an
he healed
immediate
himself
response from Fnatic.
crashes तो
Puts them
देनी
into
चाहिए
a
थी but ठीक है he
4v2
healed
post plan.
himself
Yeah, this is going to be tough to break back in. That double entry is huge, but Alfia still on the wall, has been caught out. Chronicle in a fairly open position, but will just opt to fall back. Utility not really available for that attack, but a singular paranoia for Munya.
Could get them back through. Chronicle's just got his flashback online. There's the shot from Jemkin though. Crashies, who was
भाई
desperate.
5 HP था
That's the 2 players in Boathouse
Nice.
who have to pull
Nice.
this off. Chronicle with a pistol in hand. It might not be the classic, his signature weapon. He will find the kills
अरे
nonetheless.
कोई
And
बात नहीं यार
Fnatic
मैं
going to
मजाक
0
कर रहा
up.
था मैं हर किसी के
He's
साथ कर
definitely one
देता
of the
हूँ
players I want to
टेंशन
keep
ना
an
लो
eye on, 'cause even
जिस
when
दिन
they were
आएगा
in
उस दिन मेरे को
4
पता है
on 4, you did start to see Chronicle coming back.
You
to
guys
that
aren't even
championship
like
level.
people
And we know that if they are going to be a contender
from the
in this
industry will
tournament,
also support और
he
टेंशन
needs
नहीं
to be
है
on. Like, he is that player that I feel like desires to win more than any other. And a solid start
FNC
to
का
the
game है
pistol
2-0
round.
let's go
Already seeing an idea or two, but I'll be honest, that idea at least I've been seeing since 2020.
obviously we had some
Alpha
slower
taking a vandals.
weeks
Crash
from
is के पास
Chronicle over
phantom.
in EMEA as well, but he certainly found his form towards the end of the season. But that was something Uber was saying, you know, across the board, it's felt like regular season stage 2 has been a little bit of a drop-off for Fnatic. But this is their chance to put their best foot forward in terms of opening matchups in Champions. They've only lost the one. It was their second appearance. Obviously, they've been to every single Champs. It was back against 100 Thieves. Other than that, this team is
Nice shot.
usually undefeated in the early stages. In this round, they certainly should be getting away with it fairly clean.
मैं इन पे heal
Two
देनी
pistols,
पड़ेगी
so
भाई
a big
इसको.
margin for error and only classics that they're up against.
दे दी.
Fairly hefty rotation, but they're not actually within the site trying to use
मोस्टा
the
जेम्स
smoke
को
to
बहुत
cross
लाल
over,
कर
but
दिया
it's
रे.
something that
क्रॉनिकल
Fnatic
को
are well aware of.
दो
That
और
one
मार
quick,
गया.
he missed it. Chronicle already up to his third kill of the round, just 3 away from
ये पिस्टल से खींच गए सारों
finding his
को.
ultimate
फैंटम
already.
हैंडल का जरूरत ही नहीं है.
And they're also farming up a lot of the orbs onto Althea, but wanting to make sure that that res is going to be available as much as humanly possible. For Crazy Guy, well, you either want to try and do damage or ideally die to the spike. That's not happening.
No, they're trying to buy time for Alpha to come back and grab that kill, but Crashy's, his hand was forced in the end. They come in with 2 pistols, they leave with them as well. A flawless round from Fnatic. Big money builder early on. You look at RRQ, it's not a round that they should have had much contest in, and they very nearly dropped Chronicle. I don't think it's the end of the world, but this next one, this is going to be telling. We need to see them get off to a flying start. Do some damage.
अगर
win the
अगला
round
राउंड
for
जीते
sure.
तो 3
You know, in terms of the ascent, the last time
तो
these
4-0
two teams
है.
faced, it was pretty convincing in Fnatic's
Well,
favor.
The other thing as well, I think more Integra is actually their last match when they played versus Paperex. They had a 1-11 attack. So this defense has to be solid because whenever they've done even reasonably well on this map, it's been a defensive-sided half that has done it for RRQ. So that'll be the focus. And this is where they now have the weaponry to play with Chronicle. Even after a pretty stellar early start to this game, he's going to be left down to just a stinger. And Jemkin, well, he's going to be able to escape and have his teammate double up onto Althea. A great start for this round.
Yeah, not bad at all. Exactly what we needed to see. Fnatic being put in their place early
But Chronicle को farm करवा सकते थे actually, क्योंकि Chronicle का ult भी जल्दी आ रहा है.
With the defensive side expectations we had. Rifles are left though. 3 of them with an upgrade that can be brought through. Naked from a corpse, they'll move towards this A side, but plenty of numbers here for RRQ. Full utility online towards this side, and 40 seconds on the clock. Time to make a decision, and it looks like they might be making the right read.
The thing is, that was their own thorns. It felt like Crashies wanted to push forward,
30 seconds left.
but his own team's thorns have blocked him out from doing so. Fnatic like to run the clock low, but I wonder if this is just turning into a save. 20 seconds left on the clock, despite pushing forward, but everybody else still with so much space
I
to
don't
take,
play
both are
actually.
down, and yeah, this has to be
I
a
don't
save now,
play.
but
मैं
it
खेलता
still
नहीं
seemed
हूँ.
like
मैं
at
caster
least
हूँ.
up until Boaster went down, they were still challenging for this round.
दिखाता हूँ मैं.
RRQ
मेरा काम दिखाता हूँ.
with a chance to keep this one nice and clean, and
ये
the
round
only thing is
जाने
because
दो,
it's their
मैं मेरा
first
काम
round victory, I
दिखाता हूँ.
don't expect them to hunt too much for these remaining guns.
ये देखो किधर गया. अबे यार ये कभी-कभी ऐसा. क्या भाई?
अरे हाँ हाँ सर.
भाग इधर से. ECT, Pacific, lower, finals, not win. ये देखो. तो पेपर एक्स और उसके RRQ डाल. एक सेकेंड. हेवन नहीं, हेवन हम लोग करने वाले थे. हम लोग को हेवन और ये दोनों करना था. ये देखो. मैं प्लेयर नहीं हूँ. तो तुम लोग मतलब मैं गेम के बीच में अगर मैं तुमको दिखा रहा हूँ तो देखो आई एम दिस, मैं ये काम करता हूँ. So this is something I do. I'm not a player. मैं रजिस्टर तो नहीं कर सकता हूँ. So yeah. चलो वापस गेम की तरफ जहाँ FNC तोड़े जा रही है.
Crashy's double and Boaster clearing out the rest of the site. What was a very labored round in terms of the time being bled out of Fnatic's clock has ended up being a huge success for them.
Yeah, no, just their entries into that B site were sublime. 2 players at the back of the site being picked off in rapid succession alongside the rotations being cut off. I was a little bit nervous because you have Alpha with the res, and then he's taking a solo fight alone on the other side of the map, but it is clear that the other players are ones with utility that are actually going to be able to put you into place, so you can't really afford to leave anyone else behind. For Munya, there's not really much of a choice. Just try and hold on to the gun. They managed to keep all 5 players alive
Fnatic
in the
is winning
previous
it.
round,
Like,
so
मिड का कंट्रोल बहुत अच्छा ले रहे हैं.
RRQ, but
अल्फा के अल्ट को जल्दी फार्म करवा लिया है, साथ साथ अब क्रॉनिकल की अल्ट भी जल्दी फार्म हो जाएगी.
They had their players in the right place at the right time. It just seemed like they lost every single fight.
Well, that's it, right? Obviously,
समझो यहाँ पे अल्फा वहाँ पे सिंगल सोलो स्पॉन में फाइट करने गया है. विक्राशी इसने साइड पे 2 मारे हैं.
Boathouse trying to trade out while Boaster lurks in the smoke.
Very good discipline right there. I love to see
They had the rotates. They had Jemkin close by to support the site. They had the smoke to cover their cross in, or so they thought. But
Jemkin without shield.
Well, that's a very early upset.
Operator, a glass cannon
RRQ,
operator.
but the reality is they still have the money. Jemkin's come in, operator in hand. This is the benefit from having such a clean previous round, but that position from Boaster, it's sneaky. If Jemkin steps back out, if Cushy tries to cross to market, they could be caught off here.
Now has the idea that there's a player in position.
TP
crashes
भाई
about
गलत
to
हो
run
गया ना.
out, but
TP
just
का
at the
आवाज
last
जाता है
second,
तो
he's able to catch that kill. Boaster not being able to spot the player further, but that will be an immediate retrieval. Wonderful.
हील भी दिया, अल्फा भी मरा, कायक भी दूसरी बार मरा,
For the
पूरा
second time
गेम
this
गुड़
round
ओवर
is
हो गया.
KD taking a beating. And so are Fnatic in the early stages. They need a response, and well, Jemkin's operator has just been a game
पूरी तरह से ये
changer.
राउंड फक था.
From an almost
यूज
clean
किया
round for Fnatic, it's looking like we might get one in response.
रेजरेक्शन.
Yeah, I love this from RRQ.
काक का अभी तक खाता
The
खुला
salvos
नहीं
there
है.
onto the res, just
मिड
perfect,
पे
and
पूरा
again
फकअप कर दिया ये राउंड
highlighting the
में.
benefit of having this Tahoe in. It's a difficult agent to use right now, but we've started to see some teams making that adaptation. And we saw it in the previous round in terms of slowing down the push. Ultimately, when the push came in, they lost all of their fights, but the stoppage ability is huge. The situational, like right there,
2:3.
pushing that player that was rezzed out of position, giving Jemkin every opportunity to pick off players. Like you said, I think that highlight has very much been the operator. It's not just the utility in play, the weaponry too. The way they're controlling this map, very nice. And I'm curious to see what Fnatic's adaptation will be, because after that previous round victory, they've still got money. They'll be able to invest here. And I think it will just be this back and forth with these clean rounds being traded, if that continues, until we finally see someone's economy being broken.
Well, it feels like we're playing the slowest game of all time right now.
Fnatic. Fnatic attack side on ascent. Yes.
We've also just had like late round saves each time, so it's been like almost a burst of an explosive fight, but even trying to use the heal. And actually, Alfia goes down because he's trying to use the heal while running away. Like, that is so unfortunate, but also just wonderfully placed utility for the side of RRQ. They're definitely a squad that seem to be improving day by day, game by game.
ये भी कर लेंगे.
Showed massive resilience in their victory to get into that top 2.
Let's see now.
Well, those first few rounds definitely haven't phased them.
Right there. Okay. Oh, nice shot,
Nicely done.
Baba, nice shot, Alpha.
Jumping kayak. It will be a 5 versus 4 with the big player of the previous round, the big weapon of the operator down. They try to delay.
Kayak
with the salvo,
Thunder.
but Kayak's already through. Crashed through the gates on the B site. He's claimed it for Fnatic. A plant now secured. A 5 versus 3.
RRQ, well, you talked about the
Market को भी wall कर दिया आराम से.
might still get that late round save.
Well, I also think
Sage को इतना बड़ा buff दिया है, 2-3 maps में use हो सकता है.
must have just been perfectly placed because I think that was just an immediate gate crash into the
रेस
site
बहुत
for
दूर से
Kayak,
कर
and
सकता
it
है.
looks
अगर मैं
almost
बोलूँगा
silly that he's able to get
तो
that
wall
kill
बहुत
for
दूर से
free.
कर सकता है. बाकी बढ़िया है.
Breaking back into this though, it was mentioned, it's not going to be easy. You're facing off against that Vice in tandem with Sage, and well, that's before you even talk about some of the individual brilliance currently in the server. This has been a very peculiar game. Both sides winning a lot of their rounds incredibly cleanly, and this time that pace change from Fnatic,
बहुत fast
more
खेला
importantly
Fnatic इस बार.
catching out of Gemkim, has turned this completely in the other direction. At least though, Crazy Guy's going to make it a little bit more costly, but let's be real, it's not going to do too much in terms of the economy.
Yeah, I liked what Boaster was doing there. Alpha was a little bit ahead of it though. Initially, you see him clearing out main,
God रे.
looking for players.
Alpha
in
ने
the corner,
बहुत
but
crazy मारा.
Ends up being at least a dent in that economy. There's your paranoia going through and the full blinded Cypher on the side of Xfero. Not much to say about that. 4-2. But like we said, it's been clean rounds, been a couple of saves at a time. RRQ still able to buy up. We got to be getting close to a record here so far in the tournament for the most back-to-back buy rounds for both teams. I mean, it is ridiculous.
Well, I want to see how good these teams are with the Stinger. That's been the gun of the tournament, I feel, so far, but not in this game.
Both the teams are having an operator.
Chronicle.
Buy है दोनों पे.
Nonetheless, he's now got an operator of his own. Really expecting that aggression to come in. Early TP just to try and clear out Switch. The run in. Kayak's already gone down. Smoke going to be thrown back out to try and delay them that little bit further, but it feels like now Fnatic are a little bit more committed. Boaster has made that move eventually, but is the only one out. They're still just trying to get through this choke point. Stuck by Munya Smoke. Getting out of here is going to be difficult. Alfia's got a long wait before that heal is going to be available. In fact, we'll be down to the last 15 seconds of the round if that happens. And obviously for Chronicle with the operator, all he can really hope to do is hold the cross.
There could even be a world here where they're going to group up, swap that op into Alfia's hands. Yeah, there we go. It's the right play. Give him at least a chance to trade bullet for bullet. They have got the B site wide open. RRQ, they've shown us a lot of patience on the defensive side.
He can heal himself.
This time, maybe their downfall is that they will give the plant away. 12 seconds.
With Dimensional Drift online, though, I'm not worried. Like, you could just throw that in just to confirm this round. I think clearing out all of the risky angles will just make this so much easier. And playing this as a 4 versus 2 retake, I think the gamble would be is if you left it down to a 1v1 on the site. They're not going to allow that to happen. Chronicle, though, this is what I'm talking about. He's going to try and get aggressive, try and be surprising. They already know where he is. That surprise factor is gone.
Nice shot.
Alpha, though, still manages to land a shot. They know where Chronicle is. That
Nice
was
shot.
the problem. It's
Still
down to
Alpha can get this.
Still
Alpha can.
Oh,
He'll
survive a shot, but not to the head. Cushy
120.
puts him in the ground, and RRQ convert 3-4 now, and Fnatic being wiped out. But guess what? Still got credits.
Yeah, of course they do. All of these rounds
Well
have been
played,
fairly
Alpha.
clean.
Nice
In
try.
fact, this is one of the first ones that hasn't for the side of RRQ, but this is sort of the issue I'm talking about. Like, a lot of the time you're going to see double or in some cases even triple initiator on this map. It allows you to get through those choke points a little bit easier. Some teams that change it up by running a double duelist. Maybe you see the Jet alongside the Yoru so that you can get that little bit of extra space. In Fnatic's round, what they're doing is, well, this one at least, placing the wall down and try and get through the choke, but the choke is the same. You're still going through that gap. And the couple of TPs not working out made it incredibly difficult to get out of that choke point. Even still, 4-3 up on the attack side of this map. Already said defense normally better.
1,
Hunter's Fury.
2,
Chronicles dead to rights. Nice
3.
start.
Boy,
In
double
fact,
tag.
Another tag to be had as well. Not as impactful when they have a Sage, though.
Yeah, not so much. At least it will be the shield stripped away. A small benefit. And look at this. For RRQ, they've been playing so heavy on one side of the map, and it makes sense when it's towards A and your Cyphers left to hold the other side. In the last round, they had 5 players on the A site when Fnatic were pushing through. This time, it's 3 towards it. 1 of Gemkim close enough, and the ultimate
set off. This will
जल्दी मार
isolate
दिया.
Kayak inside of main, but
अब रेस भी हो
no
जाएगा.
play on the back of it. That does feel like a little bit of a throwaway from Crazy Guy. The res is still online.
Yeah, I guess the expectation was that maybe somebody was a little bit deeper. They are wary of those salvos. That's what it is. They're using the res here. They're just expecting the salvos to just remove anybody else who's left. Shockdog getting ready to go, but they should be aware of this. Jemkim also holding the line into middle. Fnatic starting to fall flat once again. It's only really Althea who's done anything. And well, Kayak now with 14 seconds, 4 players to find. And guess what? RRQ
Attack
is not
tough
gonna
है
be
रे.
easy. That'll be
Attack
the scoreline
बहुत tough है.
equalised for the Pacific number 2. And well, for Fnatic, it feels like feast or famine.
Very much so.
If you don't get a
this
frag
round,
first,
you see early pick go down, sure, but the great thing about RRQ, like you said, is the fact that they have this composition with the Teho that is now getting into Fnatic's head. You can't pop that res because the ult can come through, and even after the ult's been put in, you're worried about the salvo. Crashies is going out running backwards to take down a camera. Xvero giving the freest fights of his life. This is a time to take a break, a little timeout for Fnatic. Back to the drawing board because it looks like RRQ are picking up some steam. They've managed to chain 2 rounds together. It's the most that we've seen since the pistol round and the follow-up. Yeah. But I think most importantly is the position that they've now put Fnatic in. With the 7th round being clean for RRQ, I think they took everybody out. The same here. Economy's going to struggle, and we'll see the first reward.
Yeah, I think as well, like it's just the manner in which they're winning them. I think really struggling to deal with Jemkim, currently 9 and 5 at the top of the board. His operator has been tough to deal with, but also just a lot of those utility combos. I think getting out of smokes has been awkward. I think Xvero as well with his Cypher utility has made it tough just to break through these chokes. And if you get caught in any of the chokes, you run into Teo salvos. You run into these reactive pieces of utility. It's
5 लोग देख रहे हो, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Chat में थोड़ा high hello हो जाता तो मजा आ जाता
4 rounds on the attack side. With the compositions we currently have running, I don't think it's bad at all. I think that I'd still put Fnatic in the driver's seat for now. But if this ends as an 8-4 half, which with how some of these rounds have started to go, I wouldn't be overly surprised. That's a little bit more of a problem. So they want to try and stop that early.
Well, round 9 kicking off. A lot of weaknesses for Fnatic. See if they can turn those into advantages. It's unlikely, and with Jemkin having so much impact so far since this
operator लिया जब से वो पूरे ही जा रहे हैं,
big piece of the puzzle to figure out when it comes to the next round.
Portal closed.
Maybe finding some information here will help them out. Slow start, as expected.
चलो, they get to know about the operator
Leaning
now.
towards the B site, which is much more open.
I wonder if this is down to the Steel Garden. One way to level the playing field would be to use that ultimate, remove the weaponry. So if you sit out of the site, fairly easy to step back. It's a slow ult to activate. And then you don't lose any of your weaponry. You can run back in on the retake. And you can see all of this utility being expended, set up to try and make things that little bit more awkward. Well, there's absolutely nobody here.
Yeah, there won't be the Steel Garden used, but instead the gate crash alongside Paranoia to clear that backside B. We've already seen the impact from Kayak, but so passive are RRQ. They tried to disrupt
Short!
Find it. Chronicle lands a double poster on the frenzy. Hold on. This is looking very winnable for Fnatic. All
It's
of
done.
a sudden, and Xvero falls quickly. Crashy's getting revenge, catches him looking the other way from the stairs for the MasterCard Thrifty. I really thought this was going to be RRQ taking the lead, Tom.
Yeah, the one thing I was nervous about was once Fnatic actually took the site, I was like, okay, now that Steel Garden is actually really impactful. It was completely meaningless. It's just Chronicle hitting a lovely couple of shots, and then I think he even tags up the next player, which the spam, helps out Bosa. So I spoke about the potential of championship form Chronicle. This was a round that, wow, as you can see, he's going to be very, very happy with. What was it? What they thought was a setup ends up not working out. 5-4. Fnatic take the lead once again. But the operator is still in play for Jemkim. He's been able to sort of dominate whenever he's in the right place at the right time, but for a lot of this map, it's figuring that out because of how slow Fnatic have been.
So in the previous round, obviously playing off B site, playing a little heavier towards that right side of the map, you're in a position to try to step out of a steel garden towards that A site, fight in afterwards. The hope is from RRQ, even if that ult is used. Actually, you probably want the ult to be used. Now it's online for this round.
Yep.
Rez is there. Hunter's Fury. Fnatic have so much to work with. For RRQ.
But here it is.
One round down. They're on the B site this time, completely trapped in. This is a problem.
Wall थोड़ा
Cushy,
fast हो गया.
he's going to have a swarm of locusts descending upon him. But his weapon is back up. The flash catches, but Cushy, good for one. Good
Wow,
for
what to
two.
do?
Against all odds on the backside. He was caught by the steel garden. But he's the one drawing blood till Chronicle again delivers a double.
Chronicle has been impressive.
2v3.
Gem Kim rifle retrieved. Crashies has that Hunter's
I'll
Fury,
begin
but using it might be difficult. Nice shock dart, but even still a couple. Looked like they could have gone the other way, but Chronicle still stands tall.
मुझे feel हो रहा है क्यों क्या हो गया?
The rounds that they've been winning the last couple have mostly come off the back of him.
क्या हो गया हर्ष भाई?
The Sentinel
वैसे
now
आपका rank क्या है
overtakes
वालों
Gem
में?
Kim. He's 11-3 right now. And really overshadows the job that was done by Cushy. The fact is, he was left as sort of the anchor, so
ये वाला
they
नहीं,
couldn't do
इसके
that
बाद जो
again.
flash करके
He
दो
did
मारा
phenomenal
है.
work. 2 kills from the
क्या
backside, but
दिया है?
making it through that smoke, similarly to what Fnatic was struggling with, also seemed like a death sentence.
It's just got to be great to have Chronicle on your team, man. Like we said, he had
भाई
maybe
crazy है
2
रे, इसके बाद
weeks,
एक दो
maybe
मार
3
पाएगा.
at a stretch where he was a bit more.
मजा आएगा, लाइक लेजिट मजा आएगा, क्योंकि उसके बाद अब इस पे देखना है क्या खेलने वाली है फनाटिक. क्रॉनिकल इसमें 11.
Yeah, I think 6 rounds is already a very good position for Fnatic to be in. Everything points to RRQ having their struggles on the attack side of this map, and well, at 4-4 after losing the pistol, we're talking about potentially turning into a great half now. Well, they'd have to win themselves this eco round to even have a chance of leveling things up.
Stranger things have happened. It's a good flash to start. The drone's got all the info. They know about the danger up close. Fnatic won't go running brazenly into that, but Cushy's trying to take advantage of the gap. He's being spotted though. Boaster about to set up a smoke. He looked a little asleep at the start. Not expecting one yet around that corner, but Chronicle, reliable, takes the pick. Jemkin super low as well, and yeah, the wall is tripped on B, but Fnatic have already put their eggs in this basket. The A site being taken. Xpharaoh tagged low. Jump around from Kayak.
Finally, Kayak gets some kills.
Done on the other side though. Kayak is relatively low. They've managed to draw blood onto Boaster. RQ could make this costly, but I don't know how much impact that's realistically going to have. They needed the round win.
At this stage, well, damage really doesn't
Alpha
need
be like,
so many credits for Fnatic to buy back in with, and a 7-round attack side half. That was something they'd be happy with their old composition, with the chamber in the mix. I think now that they've added in the Sage, this is looking incredibly dangerous for RRQ, of course. Looking forward in the series, I do think that the map pool should get better for them. They're comfortable on Corrode. They've kicked into Abyss, which, I'll be honest, historically wasn't good for either of these sides, but hey, that's their choice. Ascent, over the last few months, they've been 1-6, so I think expectations were relatively low, but this is starting to look very rough indeed.
Oh, Jemkin, there we go. The return of the op, and of course it's Chronicle that he finds. A massive scalp to tank early on. Player who has bailed Fnatic out of a lot of bad situations. The 7-5 half up for grabs. Up against the team that sent RRQ out of Toronto, the grudge match. Jemkin's going back out for more, same spot as before. Of course, he's got teammates covering deep into mid, so he doesn't have to worry about his left side. He's covering this cross.
And eventually that fight is going to be forced out. Crashies, but it's more importantly Alpha with the spike. He's got two! Alpha walls up, pops the res, uses it as a bait for another, but Xpharaoh delivers. And a 2 versus 2 spawns from this. With the ult from Boaster, the spike will be reclaimed, but look at Munyet.
Giving his position away. Clearly aware of the potential paranoia to re-swing, but he's not won the fight. And now Xpharaoh left on just 20 HP. This will be a tough one to win, but it will come down to the timing. If he can find a gap, find some space, maybe there's an opportunity down to just 10. Facing off, and he has
Are you serious?
with barely any HP left. That is absurd.
A miracle play from Xpharaoh. Isolating each fight, taking them down and putting 5 on the board for RRQ. A damn sight better than it could have been as we go into the halftime. They are trailing by 2. I love the slowdown. The slow-mo on the voice lines, but that looked like it was done.
One enemy
a big
remaining.
swing from Alpha. He was on fire, but Xpharaoh extinguished hope for Fnatic in this round.
At least a little bit of semblance of hope after what was a round that was definitely looking like it would turn into an 8-4 half. Nonetheless, it was still a good half for Fnatic, so let's go down with
2 minutes 22 seconds more.
La réunion de famille continue avec les parents de
Mama of Chronicle?
Boaster parents just joined me, Suzanne and Gary. First of all, welcome
Acha.
to Paris. And the first question I wanted to ask you, Gary, is that we know that your son has been, handling the IGL captain responsibilities for a long while now. So do you feel like he always had that extroverted, fiber in him?
Well, it's difficult to say, really. Obviously, he just took over the gaming and went away playing games in London. So yeah, I think that's where he wanted to go.
Yeah, he was enjoying himself since the very beginning indeed. Donc on le sait, Boaster c'est l'IGL, le capitaine, il a des responsabilités depuis le début. Est-ce qu'il a toujours été comme ça, un peu extraverti? Bah oui, depuis le début, il était à fond dans les jeux, il partait à Londres pour jouer, etc., pour profiter. Donc je suis sûre qu'il avait ça en lui depuis le début. And my question now, Suzanne, is for you, because your son is not only a captain, he's also a content demon, especially a dancer. So what do we think about his dancing skills? Where did he get them from, actually? Is it from you?
He's always loved dancing. He belong to a local musical theatre school, and his favourite was the dancing, ballet, anything. And of course now the K-pop. He loved everything, any dance.
Any dance he can do, indeed. K-pop, ballet, that's insane. Donc on parle aussi des skills de danse de Boaster, évidemment. Il est trop fort, il peut faire de la K-pop, etc. D'où est-ce qu'il tire ça? Eh ben, il est à l'école, d'une école de théâtre. Il adorait la danse, donc forcément il est à l'aise pour la K-pop, le ballet. Il sait tout faire. And let's see now if Natty can take the win on this map.
I love the fact that we have just shown clips of Boaster twerking to his parents. I'm sure they must look up on the big screen and go, yep, that's what he's done for the community.
Getting into your Coinbase econ report now before the next half, and Chronicle has to be the highlight. He started out 5-0, ended the half 13-4. The man was hard to shut down, Tom.
Yeah, he wasn't really dying at all throughout. Like, it made it just so difficult. The finances of Fnatic became so good all the way through, and it was him and Alpha that I feel like really put up the majority of their rounds. Of course, going into the defensive side, you kind of expect more of the same. Maybe with a little bit more from Kayak. He's been a bit quiet so far, but obviously we say a lot with this attack side. It's very difficult getting into those sites, and that's where I wonder if Jemkin's going to be able to have the same level of impact.
Who are we? FNC. Who are we?
Be as good on the entry as he was on the defense, because it is much, much harder.
Oh, Fnatic! They're giving them a taste of their own medicine. It's the stack up on mid 3 instead of RRQ's 4. But they have found 2 picks and left Xpharaoh down to 5. A much more successful start. And one of the things I wanted to highlight, Tom, is the man we're on board with right now, Munyet. He has had a tough first half, and a man we have high expectations for. I don't think Fnatic will get to see this side of Munyet for much longer, but for now...
Xpharaoh is 5,
certainly a lot more to be desired. And with this
One
pistol,
is
if
70,
Fnatic win this,
Crazy
that's
guy पे
both
पूरा HP
pistols
है,
under
ठीक
their
है.
belt, which ultimately, in a 7-5 half, the pistol was what made the difference.
Yeah. I think it'd be a bit
Oh,
more.
oh.
Damn it, what?
All right.
Okay, that's going to help them out a little bit. A full blind shot for one of their players. Monyet's found another. You mentioned him, and he's come alive. And it's starting to get a little bit dangerous. A fight that could change it, but it's the jumping.
Well played,
He's
Booster.
known for his dancing, but he'll stand up as well. It's Boaster to close things out in the pistol round. And as you said, that extra little boost could make all the difference in their map choice.
Oh, RRQ getting a little taste of the UAE
What?
champ.
Okay.
From the EMEA arena.
Ting tong ting.
It's a wild idea as well to do exactly what your opponents put into play. And we've seen this from Fnatic before.
I'm a gardener. I got flowers and shit.
Okay. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what that means, but hell yeah, garden away. Fnatic 8-5. Strong lead, and they're up against Classics. For RRQ, farming those orbs early in the name of the game. You can see the crazy guys containing that A orb while his teammates take it on B, but Kayak's pushed up on mid. Gate crash fading. I don't think he'll stick around too much longer, and indeed, he's already out.
A little bit of a ruse sold on the other side with the salvos. Of course, you can see the direction.
Crazy, man.
that they fly
Crazy.
from, so doing it from the right
Oh,
side of the
oh,
map is
oh.
important.
La, la, la.
Already being tripped, and that's going to buy that additional little bit of extra time, but they are swarming in.
Nice shot. Okay. Okay.
Was that a triple wallbang? Did he just collide two of them with one, or was that the
कैसे
second?
भाई?
It looked like it could have been all of them.
It looked like it was 1 bullet, 3 kills. Maybe we'll get a slow-mo
Yeah, I'm
on
going to need that slowed as much as humanly possible, but
Oh!
there's an opportunity for the ace, and Crazy Guy does not want to give it to him. This man was confident enough as it is. His 17th kill already. Well, Crazy Guy, he's trying to go around the world. It seems like Kayak, he is baiting. What a wonderful teammate that this guy is. In fact, they're all trying to give the opportunity for this man to get the ace. Chronicle, the first ace for Fnatic in the tournament. And one that, yeah, I'm going to need it slow. I still don't know.
Hold on. Here we go.
I
That
think
was
it was.
one
I think it
shot.
was one.
1 shot, 3 kills. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah.
From Chronicles. And that's what you like to see from a team. Patatech should take some notes.
I do feel incredibly bad for them though, because it's like you're swarming one player, 3 of you all line up at once. That's about as cursed as it gets, but obviously it was only an eco. This is when we need to see a change for RRQ. Kayak, he wasn't spotted in the last round, so he's going to go for the same play. Likely that he may not find anything again. Xfero.
देख कर लो कोई.
The gate crash going to be used. Surely it's running out of time. There we go. He's back out, but Crashy's out of the round. He's taken down in market, and RRQ used that knowing that rotations will come through. Now they look to pressure towards mid. This is the right read. Fnatic are offering up a fight, and if the numbers from the attack go that way, they could have had a duel. Very heavily favored to themselves. In fact, they still might. Boaster's going to be walled up here. It's an audacious play, but he goes jumping on top of the box.
Box पे क्यों जाना है? वहीं से मारना.
A 3 versus 5 now.
Yeah, I don't mind the idea, but the additional jump made it difficult. Chronicle on the other side, they're going to have at least a little bit of worries about that Guardian after the last round. Alpha yet, he's being watched. Well played by Monyet, making sure that lurk can't come in from behind. And while it needs to be a 1v5, it is not going to happen. A solid round from the side of RRQ, patient in their attack. But as we know, with how clean the last couple have been, there's another bye coming.
Well, it's already a margin better than the last time these two teams faced. It was Fnatic taking it 13-5. With RRQ hitting 6, but they're facing into a full buy now. Like you said, this is a different flavor, perhaps, from Fnatic. 18-5 on Chronicle. He had a lights-out start to the map, but there has just been next to no stopping him. And in round 16,
It'll be a slow, methodical start from RRQ. Pressure towards the A site, but the spike still sat outside B. The salvos sent through to clear wine. It's all about just pushing Fnatic back, limiting how much info, how much control they have to play with.
Already having to bait out some of that early utility. Wall being used over into A main. This could be a big part of the game for RRQ with how much is online. Kayak, again, going walkabouts. The reveal, Wall letting know that there's a couple of players to his right, but that's not who he's looking for. He's expecting some form of reaction. Looking as though we haven't really seen RRQ caught by any of this. Each time they've been patient. But now with 40 seconds left on the clock, bear in mind that the Vice wall has also been moved into middle, so they have a lot of information on that part of the map. The push, though, not going that way.
The drone already put through on A, alarm bells ringing. Fnatic know the hits coming in with that paranoia having landed. Kayak doesn't find much. A quieter performance continues. We look for another hero on this site. Alfier grabs some info, but swings into heavy traffic. Boaster isolated.
Oh, and
they'll be taken down after one. Chronicle and Crashies. Okay, that shock dart makes it doable. I was already thinking perhaps the save call, but now they can go for this.
What do we do?
Guy taking a fight alone. He's giving them a real chance. X-Pharaoh so desperately low. They'll play this together with a flash still in play for Chronicle. That's a good way to burst them out into this site. If X-Pharaoh doesn't break this one yet, be blinded up. It's going down below. Oh, it's going up top. Okay, they're clearing it. Now looking to fight together with the reveal. They've seen one, they've seen the other, but X-Pharaoh lands the shot. And it's all onto Crashies. The drop down should be deadly. A double swing, but X-Pharaoh gets ahead of the play. Crashies running out of time, but he'll catch one yet.
हो जाएगा.
Spike ticks away. Fnatic, it's close, but I think they've got it. Double digits on the board, and you have to
This
look
is some kind of a hell of a
That
round.
was a mistake.
That shock dart
So
held
good for the
everything.
first fight. That gets the timing perfect on the swing, but I think maybe just a little bit of miscommunication. This shock dart was huge, because as you said, this was going into a 2 versus 4. Instead, it ends up with one immediately taken out, and then the aggressive position of Crazy Guy. That is just a poor post plant. Like, I can forgive the guy planting the spike. You don't know that's coming. But from then onwards, you have
Leaving
one guy
America is
super
also a
aggressive.
good thing for
Then
him.
you get
Leaving
into a
America is
2v1,
also a
and from
good
that
thing
point
for him.
onwards, you just need to wait for the drop.
Crashies is mad, man.
That's a shame, and RRQ as well, with the margin of error that they had in terms of economy. This has pushed them to the limit. This could give Fnatic a little bit of momentum to carry it across the line, to at least push up to 12. A win here. I mean, put it this way, RRQ put a lot more pressure on themselves for this round. What could have been their redemption arc. At 9-7, the scoreline closing in, the walls closing on Fnatic. It's looking like a sprint to the finish line for the defense.
One good thing is that RRQ have a lot of potential to pad the gap with ults. Hunter's Fury 1 away. The drone's crossing path, but not really finding out too much, and the pistol shots will be heard, but again, it's just trying to bait that wall being broken. As they now look to try and move back to the other side of the map, but this definitely has its risks about it. Fnatic haven't moved. They'll catch the
Hell
first, and
nah.
actually, that's wonderful from Cushy. 2 players down, Kayak trying to rotate into position. He's hoping someone peeks off it, but they don't. Another control being taken. Fnatic can't afford to fight this. Their economy was already on the brink after that last round. They're just going to have to hold on to their guns.
Well, especially, I'm looking at that A-side take that RRQ were posturing for at the very start of the round, and I'm thinking, well, this is actually
FNC
disastrous.
गलतियां कर रही
They run
है,
the same play,
लेकिन
not only will
Chronicle
individuals
Hill
be a little bit more ready for that, but if the play goes even if it goes a little bit better for RRQ, the retake with Chronicle and Crashies both now having ults, it's a completely different game. It's so much stronger, especially the Steel Garden. It would have to be convincing in that A push. And instead, they decide to go back to the B site. They decide to push into the players who have those ultimates, into the heavier defense setup. Especially looking at Chronicle just as an individual, and then with his utility. But the fact that Cushy finds not one but both of them, complete game changer. That's a course correction on what was a disastrous previous round. 10-7. 3 players save on Fnatic though. They'll be able to fight for this next one.
Yeah, no, they needed all of those guns. With only Crashy surviving in the last round, he's the only one that has any hope for some bonus cash. And even still, it calls into question if they actually want to go for this. It's not the best of purchases if they do. They may opt to just play with the weaker guns that they have, and especially now with a Dimensional Drift Hunter's Fury combo coming in for RRQ, I'd almost say it's not worth the risk.
Love this as well. Boaster's giving the rifle over to Chronicle. He'll play with the Frenzy. That's a team player right there. When Chronicle's having a game like he is, you better be giving him the rifle. Not sure about peeking short with the Frenzy, but it's all for info. The fall back. Very early use of the drone as well from Crazy Guy. They're looking to really claim this space towards middle, but Fnatic are responding. They've started to push down through B main, take some deep control of their own. And it's not, oh, it is being watched actually. It's Crazy Guy just posted on the angle alongside the trip.
It's the amount of delay that they currently have on that A site. The Thorns have been placed all the way along. Chronicle for a lot of the rounds has been on this B site, so they'll now deep wall, which again will give them information if it's shot to break, and if it's not, they'll know that position is clear, and instead they set up a firing squad around the sheer. But this is what I've enjoyed from RRQ. They've been methodical at slowly breaking their way through this utility. Information will be had that there's 2 players around this position. Steel Garden thrown in to try and remove that weaponry, but Jemkin may be already doing enough. 30 seconds left on the clock, and
30 seconds
there's nobody here anymore, at least with the weaponry. And it's holding to mid, it could be a problem. That's a spike down. They need to run back into the hands of Chronicle. He's waiting, but he can't quite win the fight. Jemkin once again with another massive round individually. And for a second that looked like that could get chaotic, but it didn't even seem like a problem in the end.
Well, it definitely could have. I mean, you look at the TP from Munyet, the fact that he goes from the shadows, the fact that Jemkin's able to make his way all the way onto that side through market to spot those players in the first place. Those are the guys who would be running down mid to pressure these attackers who've just lost their weapons. But instead, it ends up countering that Steel Guard. Hunter's Fury thrown through as well. I don't think it found its mark, but again, it's all about just pushing those players out of position. Lack of comfort. 2 rounds ahead now are Fnatic as they call a timeout. RRQ starting to heat up, starting to catch up with 2 rounds in a row. And the way that the economy's been, I mean, it's still looking pretty shaky for Fnatic. They're not on the same page fiscally. You could very well see RRQ push up to double digits soon. It's the right moment to take a timeout.
Yeah, I think as well, just like, I think that RRQ have been very, very quick to sort of adapt to everything that's going on. Like, they know that the big problem for them will be if they run late into a round and there's the Thorns online, if the Sheer is still there, if the Sage Wall is available, and each time you're watching them methodically through the round, okay, we're going to figure out where each piece of the puzzle is, and then we're going to execute with 35, 40 seconds left. Like, they still leave themselves enough time, but by that point, all of the things that make it very awkward for them are gone, because Fnatic have had to react in case they're going to go diving into the site. And you even see, I think the main one there was the getting rid of the Thorns on shore and then having that sheer removed. The second that was gone, their execution just picked up pace massively.
Well, the barriers are going up once again. Timeout finished. And we've seen this trip a few times. It was in the previous round, and actually Crazy Guy was holding, letting them take the space and looking to punish them as they tried to walk around the trip or walk deeper into the trip. And it's all just to deny that early shock dart that's been put through. And of course, Fnatic for now have no way to know that that info is online late round. It's given RRQ a lot more to play with. The wall going to be used, but broken so quickly. They know there's numbers here, but RRQ have been doing a lot of posturing.
But yeah, look, that's Paranoia and Sage Wall gone within the first 40 seconds of the round. They're not going to mind that at all.
No, they're very successful in terms of baiting out their opponent's utility and not overcommitting either. Sometimes you see that work out well half of the time, and the other half you're losing a player or two in overcommitments. That doesn't seem to be the case for RRQ.
No.
Very contained when they're baiting out that util early round.
No, I think they've genuinely been fantastic. Not overdoing it, not taking too many risks. They're now going to go back to the exact position that they sort of baited out before, the slows. Will Dane up
3 more
at
rounds.
least a little bit? And there are quite a few players here for Fnatic. Weaponry, at least on Boaster, definitely not ideal. But again, this is just posturing. They now head back towards Kayak. Now, he's been having a rough game. They could definitely use him helping them out. And with the Hunter's Fury in combination, that creates a distraction. That's the spike on the deck. 15 seconds left. This one's looking a little bit more rushed. They need to get a move on. And Alpha and Chronicle at the back of this site. All they need to do is hold the line at least a few seconds. And in fact, they've already got the Thorns to do that job for them.
खत्म कर दिया Chronicle ने.
Find their form, but of course,
बता रहा हूँ ना, वो heavy lifting कर रहा है वो आदमी.
Yeah, I like the start of the round from RRQ, getting towards short, baiting all of that, but the problem is when they rotate back, having drained the utility belt to their opponents, Fnatic have 3 players close by who immediately hear that. The rotates are instant, they get towards that site, and then
Hello.
you're playing a slow. First of all, 2 points. First of all, you're playing a slow
एक
round
राउंड तू
against
खाली
Fnatic.
जाके देखियो.
They know how to play against
Chronicle पागल हो गया था वो राउंड में. एक गोली से 3 बंदे मारे.
15 seconds left into a vice setup.
एस मारा ना. अरे मैं देखा मैं देख ही रहा था एक्चुअली.
Now I think you're
भाई
correct.
3 बंदे.
खाना खा रहा था.
I think the timing of that Hunter's Fury, I think without it,
कोलाट में 3 खाया वो.
Kayak much quicker, and then maybe you have an extra 15 seconds on the clock to get into the site rather than 8.
Yeah. Which also comes back to they heard the steps rotating away.
भाई क्या गेम रफ चल रहा है आज.
Yeah, it was a little too telegraphed from RRQ. 11 to 8.
हमेशा वो ये करता है.
Margin for error thinning, and already the economy on the rocks.
तो
The
हमेशा
crazy
वो
guy
टॉप
comes
सेट
in
करता है
with
उसका.
a big
आज
ult on
रफ है, आज रफ.
आज पूरा दिन खराब है उसका.
especially on the
पूरा
attack
रफ चल रहा
side.
है.
वो होता
अटैक
है.
में कुछ
A lot
मार
of
नहीं पाया,
angles that
डिफेंस
can
में
be
भी नहीं
cleared
हो
by
रहा.
this, a lot of cheeky spots that can be denied.
वो होता है वो कभी-कभी.
Sometimes यार ये
This is both
a
teams
bad
with
day
their
at office. बोल
economy on the brink. This could be a chance for RRQ to
Sometimes
equalize,
होता है
or
ना.
it could be the end of the map. Kayak again, not quite
game नहीं
connected
लग
to
रहा है
go
उसका.
forward.
कुछ नहीं लग रहा है
Position
रे.
being created.
उसकी वजह से
Awkward.
साइड की
The
वजह भी हो रही है
openers
अब तो.
for RRQ are fantastic. Nobody really here to try and deny them anymore.
उनको भी पता है ना.
She's
यार.
hopeful at best, especially with them knowing his exact
तुझे भी पता है
position.
बूस्टर का भी
And
बूस्टर
it
का
now
एम
comes down to
कितने
the same decision for
कितने दिन में लगता था.
Fnatic. Do you risk this?
कभी नहीं लगता था बूस्टर का.
आज लग रहा है उसका.
कितने दिन नहीं कभी नहीं लगता था बूस्टर का.
In a heads-up duel, he's not going to do very well, so he decides to play that very late wraparound. That should
मेरे
seal
क्या
the
कर रहा है
deal.
बूस्टर.
And
और
even if
बूस्टर का
Fnatic
मैंने एक
decide
चीज
to go
नोटिस
back
किया है, वो वीक
and save
वेपन्स
these
पे खेलता
weapons,
है,
he will be
टीम को
waiting.
हेवी वेपन्स दे देता
Alpha
है.
down,
हाँ,
Poster
देता है.
follows and crashes inside the
उसको
smoke.
पता है ना.
It's soon to fade. I don't think he's got a great chance of holding on to this weapon.
साला
He won't
नासिर
do
हुसैन के
any
जैसे.
damage. It's a flawless round for RRQ.
If
The
उसका एम में लग
climb
रहा है
back,
और टीम का लग रहा
just
है
2 rounds behind.
तो खुद के ऊपर.
नहीं नहीं
खुद के
बूस्टर
पास
इज लाइक
उसके
नासिर
point
हुसैन. मतलब इंग्लैंड में नासिर हुसैन था
हाँ.
और बूस्टर इधर है. इसके
वो
आईजीएल
इंग्लैंड
के
का है ना वैसे भी.
लाइक लेजिट इसके आईजीएल के लिए इसको एफएनसी में रखा हुआ है. इसका ब्रेन बहुत अच्छा है. मतलब आईजीएल ब्रेन बहुत बढ़िया है.
हाँ.
Yeah,
Wait,
this isn't
that time-
comparable. Like, he is having a
that trophy
really
जीते वो.
rough time on the stage at the moment. He's been caught up by Monya.
वीक एम के साथ इतनी ट्रॉफी
this is why
जीता
we
है.
expect
सोच
to
अगर
have
थोड़ा
large
एम
amounts
अच्छा
of
होता.
impact. Speaking of another though, that's a nice shot.
लाइक इस लेवल पे वीक एम ही है वो. पब्लिक आके मेरे को ये ना बोले कि भाई तू कौन सा उखाड़ लिया. भाई इसे इस जगह के लिए एवरीबॉडी नोस कि बूस्टर का एम वीक है. हाँ जी.
हाँ हाँ इसके इधर तो मोनेट का भी नहीं लग रहा आज.
आज मोनेट भी वीक है, कायक भी वीक है. आज दोनों स्टार प्लेयर्स वीक चल रहे. गन क्यों नहीं उठाया कायक अल्टी के बीच में? क्या सोच रहा था भाई?
इसको दे रहा था ना.
नहीं उठाया इसने वापस का. फर्स्ट के हील भी लेके गया, गन भी गई. 2v3
गन तो इसके में नहीं ना.
Just yet. The flash pops, and I love the thorns to the back, but they don't get
But
activated.
so
And Cushy
time नहीं है.
continues to deliver on the backside. Poster landing one, leaves Cushy alone, but it's a 1v1, and with Poster so desperately low, and the clock draining. It's Cushy to find all five.
हग दिया रे. मैं सच बता रहा हूँ ना. मैप था एफएनसी का
He has
मैप था.
been
हग
so
रे.
impressive throughout this map so far. There's been rounds that have gone late where you see him run in and get a double, but this was all him.
पिस्टल में लोग ने जो काम किया था ना मेरे को लगा था भाई वन साइडेड हाफ निकाल जाएंगे
Because
पूरा
of the res, but I don't think anybody on the RRQ side of things is going to be too worried about that one. A solid hold to end it out, moving him up to 19 on the board, overtaking Jemkim. But this is where Fnatic now have themselves a bye. The last round was a lot of missing pieces, but a big opportunity. Now is where they need to recover because RRQ have been building into this attack side.
Oh, here we go. Jemkin finding the
तो
info,
भाई
pushing,
तोड़ दिया
finding the tags,
तोड़ दिया
and
FNC
finding
को
the IGL of Fnatic. He will lead from the death screen, but Chronicle able to trade things back, removing this extra smokes in the late round.
वही चीज है क्रॉनिकल कितनी हेवी लिफ्टिंग करेगा मैं वही सोच रहा हूँ
Fnatic want to get ahead of this. They've got 3 players in heaven, but a flash primed and ready. They're thinking about getting aggressive as the Rose Garden
retake
goes
ult
through. In comes Kayak. He's found one. A wall bang onto
Shorty
Crazy Guy
खाया
Jemkin. He's keeping
दूसरा भी
this
शॉर्टी खा समझ गया
at least under control for a moment, even with the pistol in play. Late round for next Pharaoh's going to be all that it comes down to, but
लेजिट हेवी लिफ्टिंग चल रही है दोनों सेंटिनल्स से
he just cannot deny the defuse from.
हाँ
12 to 10 Fnatic. They edge out this round.
दोनों कैरी कर रहे हैं
It does feel like every single time there's a moment that it looks like RRQ are going to get back into this. Fnatic just
क्रैशिस ने एक राउंड अच्छा निकाला वो शॉट डार्ट से जब मारा था उसको प्लांट कर दिया वो एक राउंड क्रैशिस का अच्छा था
big kill from Chronicle.
लेकिन तू फ्रैग्स देख खाली
not allowing them to get into those post plants.
Hello, where are you, bro?
hello, where are you, bro?
Are you Turkish police, bro?
Turkish police? बाप रे क्या बोलते रे?
For RRQ to hit an OT.
क्या दिखना पड़ता है?
Manageable with the economy that they've got to play with.
अरे बाप रे.
It feels like they deserve it. Like considering they've lost both pistols in this game,
they
fight back every single time. Kayak is going to get himself into the corner.
नहीं आया
पर चेक तो होगा ही.
Is this something that's checked?
चेक तो 100% होगा. वो
वो
एंगल बहुत गंदा है रे पिज़्ज़ा खेलने के लिए बहुत गंदा है उसके लिए तेरे को बेट करवाना पड़ता है एक बंदे को वैसे ये लेवल पे वहाँ पिज़्ज़ा नहीं खेल सकता ना
स्मोक की वजह से पता चलता है
तू स्मोक चल तू स्मोक करेगा भी ना और तू अगर एक बंदा बेट करवाएगा तो भी तू शायद जिंदा रह सकता है लेकिन ऐसे तू बिल्कुल जिंदा नहीं रहेगा
Spike retrieved. They haven't set their sights
OT
on
जा
it
रहे
just yet. The run through the smoke successful for Red Sparrow. With Chronicle already gone, Boaster and Alpha have a difficult decision.
99% OT जा रहे अगर बोस्टर ने इसमें कुछ किया कर दिया चल नहीं जा रहे OT इसी राउंड में खत्म है
Jemkin's down and it's X-Pharaoh and Munyet against Boaster and Alpha.
Got a real opportunity. Back into the 2 versus 2.
इसी राउंड में खत्म है मार देंगे
Maybe expectations there'll be somebody within this smoke already. Alfia not really willing to risk it, but eventually jumps through, but doesn't realize maybe there's somebody on the other side. They will now!
कुछ तो प्ले बना लेंगे
The TP used as bait. Monya to try and keep them in, and he cannot do it.
मैं बोला ना बोस्टर वहाँ पे एक फ्रैग लिया वहाँ पे लगा था क्या ये लोग निकालते
हैं 3rd kill in the round, and well, eventually
क्योंकि वो एक फ्रैग बोस्टर का ही इम्पोर्टेंट था चल मैं 10 मिनट खाना खा के आता हूँ मैप 2 से पहले आ जाऊंगा
खा ले तेरा हेलो सिर्फ 1 सेकंड रुक जा और मैं Oh fuck. Nice one. .31. What the hell, man?
I am so sorry guys. 5 राउंड निकल गए. खाना खाने में टाइम लग गया आज.
मैं फिर से क्रैशी ये कर रहा है.
क्या कर रहा है?
You look at five stingers and you go, okay, that's fine. But the loss of the Hunter's
ये मैप में क्या
Fury.
क्रैशेस कर रहा है?
I'm trying to tell you something.
I can't move.
क्रैशी का एम है आज.
Oh, it worked anyway.
देखना 612.
अल्फा और क्रॉनिकल.
A retake.
इन
After
ये
a
दो ही
retake,
मार रहे.
after a retake, but RRQ. They probably
वही तो
feel like
बोला.
the B site after it being half a second and a slightly missed shock dart.
वेले पता है मेरे को सेकंड जेट
Might be
लगती
the
है.
better of the two for them. They're heading there early.
पहले है अच्छी रे.
खेलना आना चाहिए मतलब वैसा बात है.
Taking the space, but Kayak's there to punish.
जिसमें तेरे पास सन भी है.
Just gets out. Happy.
वेले का
His opening pick.
जो
The
किट है ना
advantage claim.
वो
Despite
ऐसा
making it to
कुछ है नहीं
backside.
उसमें.
This is normally.
नहीं बहुत कुछ है उसमें.
Shot goes down. This time they try to deny the close plant. The
इतना नहीं है
wraparound from
जितना
Manette
जेट के अंदर
catches
है.
them in that
वो
transition
जेट का
period,
भी
and it's a
sexy है.
4 versus 4. RRQ have a late flank coming in from Xfero as well,
As
covering
compared to
all their bases. There is still a trip
Amazing.
covering it. These players on site could be under pressure. Kayak, that ult's not quite going to hit Manette up in heaven. Xfero and Manette both finding theirs. And then now that flank putting so much pressure on
Right
them.
back.
They need to be quick, they got to run forward. There's gaps in the play, and RRQ
अबे नहीं इसके
are
अल्ट में एक्चुअली पता है प्रॉब्लम क्या है. बंदे का एम तू अगर एक जगह पे स्टेशन रखेगा ना, तू अगर हिंडर्ड भी है तो गोली तो चला ही सकता है.
separate these teams in the early stages of any map.
Yeah, no, I really like that every round we're seeing a variation of those late flanks coming through. Like, they haven't always been successful. But
तो
this fight for
सेकंड
Xfero
शॉट
was
मारते हुए
everything.
टाइम बहुत
And
टाइम
I think
लगता है.
Monya and his positioning has been sublime.
तब
Like,
तक
he's
वो
the
मार
reason
सकता
they
है.
win this round. He's able to get a little pick on the corner and then
क्या
maneuver up
क्या होता
top
है?
outside of the
चिल्ला
ult
क्यों रहे इतना?
and find another as they try and switch in. Because of that, they're slower to get the kill onto Kushi. Great round from him individually. That trip's taking a worryingly long time to set up. If they had swung that corner,
इतना
that
टाइम
man
से
is
लगा रहा है
certainly
वो.
dead. But hey, he got it done in the end.
Already you can see they've spotted Boaster, and they know with the knife popping that no one is on the site. Very quick to take the space.
Oh, there's the trip.
Jemkins landed himself up top, a different route than was planned for by that trapwire. Hunter's Fury
Denied.
active, but denied immediately. The ult from KO taking all the abilities, all the ulties away, and buying so much
70 तो मार
time.
लेने.
It's Fnatic. We'll have to now wait. They've got so much util for the retake, but that clock is going to run low by the time they can use it.
Well, it has been running low every single time. Monya faking out the idea.
Attacking map है
Kushi
ठीक है.
just swung into them. He knew
Huh?
they were
Hello?
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 This round was looking done, but it's left all on to Monya. He's been revealed. They know where he is, but he wants
भाई
to
राउंड
get
थ्रो
that
किया है.
and he will not win it. Alfia onto the defuse
हाँ?
again, and this time plenty on the clock to
End
be
of
able to
throw
get
है,
it
but
over and
इन्होंने ही
done
मारा है
with.
ना.
But I'm just looking at both.
Boaster ने दो मारा रे.
Did that player get pinged and I didn't realize it because that looked
उसका ये
so
देखा?
clean from him.
मुक्का.
Yeah, I don't know.
जेमकिन को मारा वो.
हाँ वही तो.
Even the second he was looking
पहले
to
एक्सपेरो को
survive.
मारा वो भी देखियो.
Dribble catch it from his POV, but there were a lot of shots fired his way.
वो तो
It looked
ठीक है.
done.
वो
One through the smoke.
छी भाई.
The player whips,
Oh,
and
he
then
is
the reveal
revealed.
is there
Okay.
to take Kushi. A good job that that reveal went out just before Crashies went down.
Hello, bro. Moyet, hello. How you think, brother? Hello, brother.
Hey, I'll say that the last guy who waved at Monya.
अभी लग रहा है मेरे को साले बोस्टर अगर कायक से ऊपर है तो बोस्टर अच्छा ही खेल रहा है.
Well, Alpha, he's clearly feeling confident now.
आज है ही नहीं, आज कुछ नहीं है कायक के पास.
The Blade Storm activated for Jamkin. Deep play towards the A site for Fnatic. Early doors taking a lot of
खराब हो
control.
तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता.
RRQ hasten their pace.
कितना भी ट्राई कर ले, कितना भी ट्राई हार्ड कर ले, तेरे से होगा ही नहीं.
लगेगा ही
There's two
नहीं.
players quite passive on this B site, ready for the fight. Crashies slowing down the
तेरा
players
दिन
in
अच्छा है ना
mid,
तो ऐसे ही गोली चला दे, हेड पे जाके
This is
लगेगी.
leaving more isolated
हाँ.
battles. Alpha here dies after just one though. With that utility down, the player covering the cross to site out of the round completely.
हाँ प्रैक्टिस है. देख क्या होता है, देख प्रैक्टिस है, ऐसा नहीं है प्रैक्टिस नहीं. वो माफिया क्यों देख ये पे देख. ये पे ओमन को देख.
He's low on HP, so he has to pick his moment. The rest of the team have been able to place themselves in the back of the site. Chronicle with a single kill might even be able to just roll
नहीं
Thunder the
आ
ball
रहा
off the
ये
map, but they are
बहुत
waiting.
गंदा
They don't want to
खत्म कर देगा पूरा
get
round.
aggressive. They are giving the time for Monyet to make potentially the play of the round. He's watching everybody.
एक
It's
ही
a
मारा,
little bit messy,
हाँ,
but
एक ही
he'll
मारा,
still get
ठीक
the
है,
one.
एक agreed.
Not quite as much as he would have hoped for, but the rest of the players have still been just waiting patiently. Cushy again, swinging.
हाँ कसम डबल ट्रिपल पीक पे खुशी.
This guy has been unstoppable from that spot. A 4th kill from him. And well, once again we find ourselves level. It's been the story of the match.
It really has a perfect storm of parity here on the server. But Cushy,
this is spot.
Every time you see him there in the post plant, he's able to deliver. And I'll tell you what, Alfier might be regretting his words now. You're going to keep losing retakes. Well, not this time, says Cushy. 4-4.
Look at the economy as well.
Neck and neck, and this is where RRQ should be retaking their lead.
Oh,
इस मैप में यूरो भी अच्छा है.
Wow, crazy.
ये मैप में देख मेरे को एक बात बताओ, कोई भी फास्ट डुलिस्ट अच्छा है. कोई भी फास्ट डुलिस्ट अच्छा है. इसमें तू अगर हेवन वाला कॉम भी खिलाएगा ना, आइसो और योरू का, तो भी चलेगा.
डबल डुलिस्ट पॉइंट नहीं है इस मैप में.
डिपेंड करता है रे कि तू सिंगल इनिशिएटर पे खेल सकता है या नहीं.
नहीं खेल सकता.
The support that Alpha has is just the jiggle peak of Chronicle. It definitely leaves him out to dry, but when you have a buy like this,
वैसे तू देखेगा तो ये भी है, हेवन पे भी 3 साइट है, तो फिर भी फक्ड अप ही है.
You've heard the drone go through as well on RRQ, and obviously the response here from Crazy Guy was the drone.
इसका मिड थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही कुछ ये है.
Now they're starting to expect those rotations have come through. 4 players outside.
आज कोई कूदा था क्या सेकंड राउंड में? क्या ट्राई किए थे? कौन जीता कौन था? मेरे को मैच देखा ही नहीं, मुझे नहीं पता.
सेकंड राउंड तो ये RRQ जीती ना.
अच्छा, पिस्टल RRQ जीती थी ऐसा.
हाँ, तो दूसरे तो उसके
शॉट रे.
They want to be patient on Fnatic, but RRQ get ahead of it. They're playing aggressive, finding the double. A big advantage now.
कोई डैमेज check.
the danger is gone.
But कोई आया नहीं. सारे B पे गए.
तो कूद गए.
Nobody's going to find Crashy's corpse, that's for sure.
क्योंकि देख वो राउंड वैसे भी जाएगा ही जाएगा. वो राउंड तुम जीत नहीं सकते. 99.9% तुम नहीं जीतोगे वो राउंड.
Chronicle with no orbs needs to be gained. I think the only thing he can either hope for is a rifle or the taste of the spike.
5 on the board for RRQ. The lead reclaimed, but I think most of us are expecting the next to go to Fnatic. Not because of their comp or their economy or the way they're playing, just because of how this game's been.
Yeah.
Back and forth. Plenty of games of tennis here.
Yeah,
it looks like another.
I want to give credit again to RRQ for how methodical they are in these moments. Like even when they use the null command into the site, they're still checking for those trips. They know that that's one of the main dangers, is just a kill trip somewhere on the corner. They're checking and pinging for the cams. Like they are not aggressive in the way they're doing things. They're smart with it. Very enjoyable team to watch. A set play though being thrown in for Fnatic. The util forced them back, but unfortunately for Kayak, there was nobody caught in the
मजा आया, लेकिन आज के मैचेस देखने में मजा तो आ रहा है.
Just run to the other side of the map, knowing now that they're facing in to that rolling thunder. They'll still compete for the orb, but with 4 players here, it's going to be the exact same round minus the no command.
Short रे Chronicle.
They've lost one to Chronicle. That rolling thunder.
Sheebal.
It almost sent Monyet off the map, and instead it sent him into the waiting arms of Chronicle. But a 3v3, and again this mid play.
बीच चले जाएंगे, रोटेट कर लेंगे. हाँ, रोटेशन आ ही रहा है. हो गया राउंड खत्म.
It's revenge for RRQ Cypher. The B site now open as we can see. Poster getting his rifle out. Looked like a little.
आज पोस्टर कुछ भी मार रहा है, सही लग रहा है उसका.
Okay, well throughout this, Chronicle didn't move. I can understand why. You've seen a kill on the other side of the map. You kind of had the expectation that they go the other way. He's now started to claim some control. Perfect position.
अबे क्या है team?
It's given an opportunity.
Crazy
Guy's been able to get out of the grab well. Because of that, he gets that early fight. And Boast has been wrapping around the back line, going all the way around the map to try and get in from behind. He does have the Cosmic Divide available, but placing it while in the open would be a massive
Backside.
risk. He's just trying to make his way into the site, and Crazy Guy, well, it's been too long. He started to realize that he has to be coming in from behind. The tap on the spike reveals his opponent's position. But the clock is in his favor.
आज बहुत अच्छा खेल रहा है भाई, बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा खेल रहा है आज.
He's been good in these late round scenarios. And who would have guessed it? 5-5 and another retake of sorts.
अबे नहीं, लेकिन अगर यही पूरा फॉर्म बोस्टर ने पूरे चैंपियंस में रखा ना, तो एटलीस्ट ये लोग नई करके भी टॉप 4 टीम्स में पहुंच जाएंगे.
पेपर एक जीतनी चाहिए बस.
एनआरजी या पेपर एक्स, मेरा तो प्रेडिक्शन यही है.
पेपर एक्स
या एनआरजी या पेपर एक्स. फर्स्ट पोजीशन पे एनआरजी, क्योंकि पेपर एक्स को इस साल एक ग्लोबल ट्रॉफी मिल गई है.
नहीं रे, वैसा नहीं. वो फाइनल्स में चैंप्स में गए, पता है.
हाँ, वो मालूम है.
At halftime. Gonna take some early space. It will be spotted. There we go. Just a little bit of patience.
जेट का भी आवाज तो आया ही होगा.
Still looking like he wants to challenge this. Maybe expecting a reaction. The A site split, not something we've seen too much of. It's a very tight angle to try and make your way through. That's why Crashies is just.
ये एंगल बहुत गंदा है, पता है. मैं भी खेलता हूँ ना कभी-कभी.
Start up, stun, keeps
जब 2-3 बंदे आए और तू कमिटेड रहा ना, बहुत गंदा एंगल है वो.
Kind of stuck until they get through this choke.
भाई ये वैंडल कैसे पसंद आ रही है अल्फा तेरे को?
Dealing with Alpha's utility, it doesn't feel like he's getting a lot off.
ओ वाटरफॉल वाली. बुड़बुड़ तो नेपच्यून.
Push through. It will be the same again.
दूसरी बुड़बुड़.
Fnatic to clear mid.
Fnatic group up here. 4 players moving into heaven, but RRQ want to take the fight to them. Boaster and Chronicle, though, good for the duel. In goes the Hunter's Fury. It's a narrow laneway. Doesn't land for more than
इतना
the
गंदा
one,
अल्टी मारा 6.
4 versus 3. Oh, Magnet! He's just delivered a double. Managed to find them, fall back, and then the trap on the other side reveals.
अब बोस्टर खींच रहा है रे आज.
The one that was unknown, Alpha will be caught.
एक सेकंड, बोस्टर ने ऑन टॉप का कॉल तो दिया ही होगा ना अल्फा को.
उसने अल्ट मारी है.
अरे वैसा नहीं, चल रिपोजिशन का होगा. मैं तेरे को अभी मैं यही बोल रहा हूँ. यहाँ पे मोनियत 2 मारा. यहाँ क्रेजी गाय ने जब बोस्टर को मारा.
देख यहाँ पे एम का होता है इतने ऊपर के एंगल पे, जनरली नीचे के एंगल पे मारते हैं. वो ऊपर जाने में टाइम जाता है, इसलिए.
Him deliver on either the Yoru or the Waylay. And what is a fast-paced take once again for RRQ.
Jamkin looking to harvest souls, caught by the stun, yet he still survives.
ये देख.
फिर 2 मार गया.
Breathing life into Fnatic. But in a 2v3, still on the back foot.
He loves the cam on the spike.
And it got down just in time. That shock dart landed just a little bit too late. And Crashies will have no more chance to play with the bow.
अरे नीचे से गन उठा ले, ऊपर ही क्यों जाना है?
ऊपर भी एक गन है ना.
But better than the classic, perhaps. Well, maybe not actually. It depends.
इसके सामने गन थी, वो देख.
That is what RRQ have been so good.
Phantom में.
They're not going to give him a single fight. Just jiggle peeking, baiting him into taking awkward positions. He doesn't have anything to play with. The time against him. And look, even at the end, the cam will be what decides the round. Just making sure that there is no fight to be had. The half will be won by RRQ.
5-7. Not a bad half.
They stopped all those retakes from happening again and again after the last few rounds.
It was a razor's edge between triumph and tragedy in that first map. The pistol rounds ultimately cost RRQ the chance to be 1-0 up here. But they are not letting go of hope on map number 2.
Camera taken out.
A 7-5 scoreline, a strong performance from them across the board. Cushy stepping up to new heights, but I think you really look at the entirety of RRQ and say they have got a chance when we get to half number 2 after the halftime break.
2 minutes remaining. 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 2 minutes remaining.
on a des fans de toutes les équipes ici en France.
कभी कभी इनका प्रोडक्शन जा रहा है मालूम,
I'm glad to welcome a French RRQ fan here with me.
बीच में खर खर हो रहा है.
How did you discover RRQ? What gave you, faith in them and want to follow them? Donc première question, c'est étonnant aussi d'avoir un fan de RRQ, une équipe qui vient de si loin. Qu'est-ce qui t'a donné envie de les suivre?
Je suis tombé dessus un peu par hasard quand j'étais en Corée du Sud. J'ai regardé un match, ils ont gagné. C'était preuve de résilience, c'était juste incroyable en termes de gameplay. Je suis rentré, j'ai acheté tous les billets pour le reste de la régulière saison 2023 et je suis allé à tous les matchs. C'est pas compliqué.
So it's a love story back in 2023. I started following them a bit randomly. I went to the arena in Seoul and I loved them. They had like such a big resilience, so I bought all the tickets for their future matches back in 2023 and I never stopped following them. So that's beautiful dedication indeed. And this might be a tough question, but I want to ask you, what is the best region in the world? Are you going to go for EMEA, for Pacific? C'est quoi la meilleure région du monde?
Bon, certainement pas les Américains.
Ooh, definitely not the Americans.
On aurait tendance à dire IMIA, mais il y a quand même la meilleure équipe du monde au Pacifique et RRQ, donc...
Pacifique?
Bah oui, bien sûr.
So yeah, maybe I would say EMEA, but I have to stick with my boys from RRQ here. And last question, who do you think
ये साला कौन सा लैंग्वेज बोल रहा है?
On the side of RRQ, qui va carrer cette carte pour RRQ?
J'aime beaucoup Xero et j'aime beaucoup Ewok aussi, c'est des pierres angulaires du projet.
नहीं समझ में आ रहा भाई.
Depuis le début et je les supporte depuis le début et c'est sûr qu'ils vont faire quelque chose de bien, c'est sûr, c'est certain.
French?
French नहीं है.
I think they are really like stone miles in that team, like very.
अगर है तो हाँ इसको समझ आ जाएगी बराबर.
Rooting for them. Merci Maxime, thank you very much. And let's.
साले पेरिस में हो रहा है.
हाँ हाँ.
तो फ्रेंच हो ही सकता है.
तो इस वही बोल रहा हूँ ना, एंकर को समझ में आ जाएगी.
और उसको समझ में आ ही रहा है, इसलिए तो बोल रहा हो, बोल रही हो.
You can take a look at Boaster. A lot of talk in the desk about his performance throughout the regular season, but he has certainly stepped it up here today.
Yeah, no, he's definitely had his moments. I think especially on the defensive side, being able to get into those positions to basically get them back into the site that they'd lost, because every single round that they won was based off a defusal.
साला ये यूके में कभी हुआ नहीं. होगा भी नहीं. यूके गई हुई है.
Astra on this map. Well, when I think of Astra, I think of him. I think of
पोलैंड में आना चाहिए वाला.
पोलैंड में अब हो नहीं सकता.
अभी नहीं हो सकता.
अभी हो नहीं सकता, तेरे को भी मालूम है क्यों.
अभी हो नहीं सकता, बट पहले हो सकता था. और कभी इंडिया में होना बहुत रेयर है.
नहीं, कुछ बातें हो रही थी. I don't want to leak it out, but हाँ कुछ बातें हैं. कुछ बातें हैं जो मुझे पता है.
राइट को बहुत पैसा दिया ना, तो हो सकता है.
नहीं, कुछ बातें हैं जो मुझे पता है. But I don't want to reveal it. भाई वो किसी को नहीं बताया मैंने अभी तक. वो सिर्फ कितनों को पता है? 1 2 3 4 6 जन को पता है हम लोग को.
नेक्स्ट 6 लोगों को मैं बताऊं, मैं बताए. बोल. 6 लोगों में से किसी को मैं जानता हूँ.
जानता है तू, तेरे को नहीं जानते वो, लेकिन तू जानता है. और गोनर से रे.
अच्छा समझा.
2 और गोनर से. नॉर्मली हम लोगों को तो ऐसे पता है क्योंकि हम लोग वही कॉन्वर्सेशन का पार्ट थे रे, इसीलिए पता है. ये कॉन्वर्सेशन लेके ही हम लोग आए थे. 2v3 फिर बोस्टर 2 मार दिया. हाँ ये 3 मार दिया. भाई क्या है ये, क्यों है ये? मैं भाग जाएगा अभी. डिसिप्लिन, ऑब्वियसली डिसिप्लिन. 25 HP अल्फा. रैंक्ड थोड़ी चल रहा है
ना. चौथा मार देगा.
लेकिन मैं तेरे को क्या बोला? हाँ दी
हो सकता है, देख पता है, हो सकता है.
वो नहीं, मैं इस राउंड की बात कर रहा हूँ. वो तो हो ही सकता है. रैंक थोड़ी चल रहा है कि वो वहीं पे जाके ओवर एग्रेस करेगा. ये देख 1 मारा 2 मारा उसने. यहाँ ओवर एग्रेस करने का कोई चांस ही नहीं बनता है. रैंक्ड होता तो चलो समझ में आता है कि हाँ ओवर एग्रेस करता. यहाँ ओवर एग्रेस किया 9-5 हो जाएगा अभी।
Brilliant round from Boaster. And while
बोला ना
he
ये
mentions the importance
खेल रहा है आज।
of the pistol rounds in the last map, they're even
खेल रहा है, आज खेल नहीं रहा, आज पेल रहा है।
Conversion here. Oh, Alpha.
ना ब्रो, दूसरा मार सकता था।
It's only classics from RRQ. But now they
मार्शल
managed to
गिव
find
अवे हो गई। अब मार्शल के अगर एक आधे, अरे लेकिन एक आधा हेड पड़ गया तो हो गया ना।
they will be forced into the retake
हेडी मारना पड़ेगा ना।
on this A side. And the
कूद जाओ, मैं तो बोलता हूँ।
हेड ने
बहुत सारे वालों कूद
especially
जाओ।
with the range advantage going back towards main is not a bad idea, but
एक को देखे।
yet being able to just smoke them off. They want to stay a little bit aggressive, keep some control.
nice
But the cam has spotted them. They know exactly where to
बेंच
go.
ट्राई किया, 1v2 हो गया।
Fnatic coming crumbling down.
इसके पास गन नहीं है। लोड़ा गन ले ले भोसड़ी के।
नहीं फिर भी मार दिया उसने 2।
इसके पास गन नहीं थी।
उसने गोश्त से 2 मारे। और अबे ये लोग का प्लान बराबर था, पता है? इसके पास गन नहीं थी तो प्लान सही था। 2 फैंटम वैंडल है, अगर कोई एक भी मरता है तो ये फैंटम वैंडल रिकवर करेगा। अभी ऐसा थोड़ी पता था कि सब भी हक देंगे। आज मार रहा है भाई, आज पॉम दे। आज बंदा आज फुल्ली पॉम दे।
मेरे को 17 से की मार रहा। अब इसको कोई बोलेगा नहीं।
आज तो कोई नहीं बोलेगा, एटलीस्ट
सिर्फ कैरी होता है।
आज तो एटलीस्ट कोई नहीं बोलेगा कि सिर्फ कैरी होता है भाई। हम लोग क्योंकि देख एवरीबडी यूज्ड टू से, मतलब मैं अकेला नहीं था, आधे से ज्यादा वैलो कम्युनिटी को पता था कि काया का भी एम लगने लगा, बोलने लगी। हाँ जी, ये गिर जाएगा।
अभी मरने वाला था,
गिरता था। अल्टी मार दे, मार दे अल्टी, मार दे बैक साइड।
नहीं मारेगा, नहीं मारेगा वो। 3-5 है।
राउंड 6 अभी मार दे। के मार दे।
वो अल्टी मार के पॉइंट है रे।
पागल हो गया है बोस्टर। ये देख डांस कर रहा है, नाच अलग रहा है भाई।
मार रहा है वो, बहुत गंदा वाला मार रहा है।
तो मम्मी पापा भी आए हुए हैं ना, तो आज अलग बफ है। आज अलग बफ है आदि।
बहुत ज्यादा बफ है।
मॉम डैड ऑन, सीधी बात है भाई, मॉम डैड ऑन इन दी ऑडियंस तो भाई
गर्लफ्रेंड तो होती रहती है, रोज ही होती है, हर मैच पे होती है।
पेज पे रहती है।
Imagine being the guy on the other side of the stage.
वो हंस रहा है।
क्या देख रहा है?
बोलता है कि तो फंस गया भाई। क्या है?
नहीं, पोस्टर मेरे को कैरी कर रहा है। क्या कर रहा हूँ मैं?
हाँ भाई, लग रहा होगा भाई उसको मन में तो कि भाई मैं पोस्टर से कैरी हो रहा हूँ। छी बे, छी पोस्टर, लेजी पोस्टर। नहीं भाई, कायक ने ये राउंड में 2 अच्छे मारे, नो डाउट।
जो पहला मारा है ना, उसके लिए ब्रिज का स्टन इम्पोर्टेंट था।
तो यूटर्न तो देखते को सेटअप तो करके देना ही पड़ेगा, डुलिस्ट है तेरा।
वही तो दिक्कत है, मुझे कोई करके नहीं देता।
फाइमन में करके देते हैं, बोल भाई, तो रैंडम कोई नहीं करके देता।
This game slipping away from them, and as we've already witnessed, there's been plenty of upsets, plenty of
और काया के 7-15
डबल नेगेटिव से भी ज्यादा है उधर। क्रैश चीज पता है 5-13
5-13 तो अलग ही है, क्रैश ही है।
वही बोल रहा हूँ ना। लेकिन भाई सच बता रहा हूँ, क्रैशिस का अमेरिका छोड़ के ईएमई आना फायदेमंद था, क्रैशिस के लिए भी और एफएनसी के लिए भी।
होता है।
dig in your grave.
कॉज क्रैशिस का प्ले स्टाइल मैच कर रहे हैं एफएनसी के प्ले स्टाइल से, मेरे को ऐसा लगता है।
हाँ।
Up for contest is best player in the
और
world.
लियो जाने के बाद थोड़ा सा
Coming up from the tier 2.
है ना, कोई तो चाहिए था,
The young gun, but
कोई ऐसा नामचीन बंदा चाहिए था, हाँ, कि जो
Boaster, that's something that I think you know.
जो आए और एकदम से धड़ल्ले से परफॉर्म करे।
As the desk was highlighting his stage 2 performance.
और लियो तो चला गया ना अभी,
लियो रिटायरमेंट अनाउंस कर दिया।
The guy's got a lot of responsibilities. Right now, it seems like he's
अरे हाँ रे, प्रॉब्लम मैं तेरे को लेजिट बता रहा हूँ ना, ई स्पोर्ट्स का सबसे बड़ा इशू ही यही है कि भाई आदमी फिटनेस पे फोकस ही नहीं कर पाता। चल एज अ कास्टर हम लोग तो फिटनेस पे फोकस कर सकते हैं इफ वी वांट, मतलब वो खुद पे। हम लोग को ज्यादा काम नहीं रहता, हम लोग को समझ 3-4 घंटे का है, अगर इवेंट 6-8 घंटे का भी है तो किया और हम फ्री है। हम लोग को रोज भी नहीं करना पड़ता, एज प्लेयर तेरे को रोज इम्प्रूव होना है, रोज तेरे को 10 घंटे की ग्राइंड डालनी है,
कंपल्सरी है।
एज कास्टर्स हम लोग कर सकते हैं, मैं तो वही बोलता हूँ, हमेशा बोलता हूँ, एज कास्टर्स वी कैन डू एवरीथिंग, लेकिन एज प्लेयर्स यू कांट डू एवरीथिंग।
इन प्लेयर्स यू हैव टू स्पीक, यू हैव टू प्ले, यू हैव टू थिंक,
सब करना पड़ता है भाई तुमको। तुम फिटनेस पे कैसे फोकस करोगे वो तुम सोचो कि भाई तुम 10 घंटा गेम को देने के बाद 2 घंटा स्पोर्ट्स फील्ड में, जिम में, कैसा वो 2 घंटा निकाल पाओगे। और सीधी बात भाई, मैं तो एक ही चीज बोलता हूँ, एज ई स्पोर्ट्स प्लेयर्स तुम जिम जाते हो ना, मैं तेरे को आधी एक चीज आज भी बताता हूँ, एज ई स्पोर्ट्स प्लेयर्स अगर तुम जिम जाते हो ना, उससे बेटर तुम फिजिकल स्पोर्ट्स जाओ, वो ज्यादा बेटर है।
फिजिकल स्पोर्ट्स इज बेटर,
एटलीस्ट यू विल टच द ग्रास, तुमको थोड़ा बहुत
दोनों चीजें पता है। फिजिकल स्पोर्ट्स में क्या बोलते हैं, स्पोर्ट्स खेल रहे नॉर्मली, इफ ज्यादा खेले और इंजरी हुई
ज्यादा,
उधर भी लौड़े है ही।
वो दोनों जगह पे पॉसिबिलिटी है। मैं तेरे को एक चीज बताता हूँ, वो पॉसिबिलिटी दोनों जगह पे है। अगर तूने जिम में ओवर एग्रेस कर लिया खुद को, मतलब तू सोच रहा है कि हाँ मैं कर ही लूंगा, मैं कर लूंगा, तूने डंबल हेवी उठा लिया, वहां तेरी कोई बोन इंजरी हो गई तो भी तू
जिम में नहीं होता रे इतना, वही बोल रहा तेरे, क्यों नहीं हो सकता पता है
तेरे को, तेरा कैपेसिटी पता है
ना। हाँ, और दूसरा चीज है ना, वो उसको ये करते हैं,
खोल दिया भाई पूरा,
कोई ना कोई तो ट्रेनर रहता ही है,
खोल दिया पूरा, खोल दिया बूस्टर ने पूरा खोल दिया, खत्म कर दिया बूस्टर ने। बूस्टर इज लाइक डूड, आज तो नहीं, आज मम्मी पापा के सामने तो मैं मेरी इज्जत नहीं गिराऊंगा। मैं पता है, मैं अगर बूस्टर की जगह होता ना अभी, तेरे को मैं एक चीज बता रहा हूँ, मैं अगर मैं बूस्टर की जगह अभी होता ना, मैं क्या बोलता मालूम है, हर इवेंट पे आओ, कमा के मैं दे ही रहा हूँ आधी।
वो चीज नहीं हो सकती ना।
क्यों नहीं हो सकती? इन ऑडियंस क्यों नहीं आ सकते? चल दोनों पेरेंट्स नहीं आ सकते, सिंगल पेरेंट तो कोई आ ही सकता है।
See, there are things. Yeah, this is his workplace. Okay.
अरे this is his workplace, समझ में आया। चल मैं तेरे को एक चीज बोलता हूँ।
I'll tell you one thing. Okay. For some days they can come, but every day if he's coming, he'll get
जो important matches है उसको वो दिन पे आओ।
हाँ, वो ठीक है रे।
जैसे कोई ग्रैंड फाइनल है, कोई लोअर फाइनल है,
हाँ उसके लिए तो ठीक है।
तो योगा इसका अब जैसे ये फर्स्ट गेम था,
We'll give everybody a little bit of extra time to prepare, so
Solar 27 है वो।
RRQ
क्या मार रहा है?
starting to look like they may need that extra
फिर
time.
से चेरी राउंड है और फार्म करेगा। अटैक में एक राउंड में हारे, कंटिन्यू लोग कितना 7 राउंड जीते।
उसको कोई
not looking good at all.
उसको कोई तो क्वेश्चन करेगा तो लास्ट MVP
Let's see if things
कब
change in
था?
the next round. Here it's Sheriffs. Individual's going to be relied upon.
बोलेगा आज बन गया ना।
Already spots Jemkin. The door has to be broken open, and as he fades away, Munyet fades out of the round.
किधर है
Trying to
बूस्टर?
cover
वो
his
देख बूस्टर
teammate.
स्पॉन में घूम रहा है
4
ये।
Sheriffs now left in play, and for
स्पॉन में थोड़ी
Fnatic,
है।
grouping and
बी
hitting
पे
a
वो।
site, it's
हाँ
the
अभी
right
भी
call.
पहुंचा है।
It's what
इधर
you
स्पॉन
want to
था।
see happen from our perspective, and you
बी
can see
पे
they've
था
made
वो।
that call.
अरे इधर घूम रहा था जिधर अभी ये क्या बोलते क्रैशिज है अभी क्रैशिज है।
Round number 19.
देख तू जाके बूस्टर बी पे ही गया था।
अबे
Every
बाकी
single
सारे मेरे पे
ultimate,
थे।
bar maybe the neural
हाँ।
theft to be online for
ये
Fnatic.
लोग का
Like,
प्रोडक्शन
they
को
haven't had to
करना
use
पड़ेगा।
anything. The neural theft was used in the last round. But if they're clever here with like who plants, well there you go, there's one, that's Chronicle's ult. Maybe they send Crashies out to try and hunt, although
एक्चुअली हाँ क्रैशिज को भेजना चाहिए हंट पे। अगले राउंड की अल्टी रेडी हो जाएगी।
But it leaves
और
things in
हेवी
such a
अल्ट पे तुम अगला राउंड तो
terrifying
इजीली
spot.
निकाल
The
सकते हो।
ult will also be there for RRQ, even if it's just
बट
via
ठीक है रे
death.
शेरिफ से सामने ट्राई कर सकते हो तुम क्या फर्क पड़ता है। एक आधी बन जाएगी।
जब एम नहीं लगता ना
Kayak, he's
तो
in a
शेरिफ
lot
पे
of
भी
trouble.
चप्पलें पड़ती है ऐसा।
He looks to be in a lot of trouble.
हाँ एड पे लगता
ए
है।
ले लगी।
He'll take down 2 before he falls. The ults online for Fnatic in the next are looking deadly for RRQ.
कूद जा जेम
They
किया।
need to give them even more, especially with Crashies 2 away from
कूदा
that
या
Hunter's Fury.
इधर से बड़ा एक ही हुआ था।
Going down to the spike is the correct play, but now back against the wall. It's been 6 straight rounds for Fnatic. A pause just called in the previous by RRQ. This is what they will have talked about. The rifle round has to be theirs.
Yeah, but again,
नहीं
you're
होगा
gonna have to
राइफल
break
उनका।
through all of those ultimates and sure they have some of their own, but
Monyet! Hello, Monyet! Look at me again. Hello! Look at me again, bro. Oh, he's not. He gets scared.
he also has headphones on.
It would be worrying if he looked
I
up.
don't think he can hear you, but I
भाई इसका और
appreciate
मोनेट
the
का अलग बैंटर चालू है।
Yet's revenge hasn't really looked like it's taken its toll. 4 rounds ahead, 6 in a row, and high impact ultimates on board. Fnatic though are taking mid control. There's been a challenge in the last couple, but the success hasn't been there. Kushi's been one of the few glimmers of hope in this map, and Boaster's just walking it down on his own.
Well, that is a deep play.
मैं क्या बोला ये बूस्टर पागल आदमी है क्या कर रहा है अभी। कहाँ है वो?
Not finding its mark. Pressure applied as Jenkins rotates.
भाई 3 मारा ये राउंड में भी।
Third kill of the round. This guy's off to a flying start, and it looks like soon to be a finish for the attacking side. A 4th denied, but Chronicles there.
मैं और कास्टर एक ही चीज बोले।
12-7.
मैं हिंदी में बोला वो इंग्लिश में
For
बोला।
Fnatic, and after the pause, nothing's changed for RRQ.
The thing I love about that is that's when Fnatic decide to throw in a set play. That's where you have the rolling thunder that forces the players. We've seen them play on this close B box so many times. So
एक चीज और तूने नोटिस किया?
and that's why Boaster is running it down mid. Because
अल्ट के बाद डबल डैश आया था वेले का। भले ही उसने फ्रैग नहीं निकाला लेकिन वो डिस्ट्रैक्शन क्रिएट किया वो इम्पोर्टेंट था।
Set play from the side of Fnatic. And what we spoke about back in this game to be the resurgence, there looks like there is no resurgence to be had. This attack side from Fnatic has been flawless.
डिस्ट्रैक्शन हमेशा इम्पोर्टेंट है। अरे अभी ये राउंड तो थ्रो होना ही चाहिए भाई 3 अल्टी है। और तीनों मेजर अल्टी है।
एक अल्टी है ना बहुत दिनों से।
In the weakest state in terms of their map.
हाँ वो राउंड से है ना।
Ascent was close.
बहुत दिनों से।
In the second half of Abyss, it has been anything.
मैं वो राउंड में बोल रहा था अल्ट मार अभी तक नहीं मारी है।
Just 1 round away from victory. With 5 chances to do it.
Double dash.
Deep dive. They see the cage.
Shot.
What a
Held
shot
back.
on a Jemkin. The first of what could be many to fall. Ult clearing right, but Xfero's still alive, but now they know it. They know exactly where he is.
He's got both trips just blocking off this right-hand side. They're yet to be broken. They now will be, or at least the first one. If anybody's jumping across, both
nice
shot flying off the map, but it may not even matter in the end. Only 2 standing.
खत्म भाई वो बूस्टर पागल आदमी अल्टी मार।
Needs a crazy finish and he will not.
वो अगले मैप में मारेगा।
Perfection for Fnatic on that attack side. Not a single round dropped.
भाई ना बूस्टर ने अल्टी मारी ना क्रैशिस ने अल्टी मारी।
नहीं चाहिए, हम एम पे मारेंगे।
और आज तो बूस्टर ने पूरा एम पे मारा है भाई। अग्रेड 2-0 वो। और ये दोनों चड्डी बड्डी बन गए हैं पता है, बूस्टर और क्रैशिस।
अरे रोज एक साथ रहेंगे
अरे
तो हो
ऐसा
गए ना।
नहीं, पर रोज एक साथ तो देख, क्रॉनिकल कितने टाइम से इसके साथ है, अल्फा सर कितने टाइम से इसके
देख
साथ है।
सी देख, मैं वो एक चीज बताता हूँ। तेरा तू कॉलेज में ग्रुप के साथ रहता है,
हाँ।
ओके, ग्रुप होता है, ओके, ग्रुप चल 5 लोगों का ही है,
पर वो
ओके,
एक के साथ
उसमें से
वैसी वाइब
एक ही बंदा
मिलेगी।
होगा, एक, हाँ वही चीज होती है।
तो एक के साथ ऐसी वाइब आएगी कि भाई।
नहीं सबके साथ सेम वाइब होगी ना, तो भी तेरा एक ही साथ उतना ही
एक्स्ट्रा
क्या
ऑर्डिनरी
बोलते हैं
वाइब
उससे
रहता ही है रे एक
ट्रिपल।
के साथ।
हाँ वही बोल रहा हूँ,
ये क्या कर रहा
वो
है,
कोई भी हो फिर।
ये क्या कर रहा है। भाई का लोअर उतर गया था, ये ले लोअर उतार उतार रहा है कि उतर गया था, कर क्या रहा है।
फिर वो लड़का हो या लड़की हो, वो चीज है।
वो डिपेंड, देख भाई वो कोई भी हो सकता है। वो कोई भी हो सकता है, मैं तेरे को एक बात बता रहा हूँ ना। ये खाली इंडिया में ऐसा है कि लाइक अगर एक लड़का और लड़की दोस्त है तो भाई क्वेश्चन मार्क है, लेकिन भाई मेरे कॉलेज में मेरे एक दो फ्रेंड्स थे ऐसे।
तुझे एक क्या बोलते हैं, नाम भेजता हूँ, वो सर्च कर,
भेज भेज।
व्हाट्सएप कर दो या
डन
इंस्टा
सी।
कर दो।
चलो भाई लोग मैं निकलता हूँ, स्ट्रीम करते हैं बंद, कल मिलते हैं। कल के मैचेस क्या है वैसे, कल के मैचेस देखते हैं पहले।
इस ये सर्च मार,
एक
इंस्टा पे सर्च मार, नहीं तो यूट्यूब पे,
हाँ एक सेकंड एक
कुछ भी।
सेकंड एक सेकंड। चलो गाइस बाय बाय, टेक केयर, सी या। कल के मैचेस देख के आता हूँ। कल के क्या मैच,
कल तो पेपर, कल तो मैच है ही नहीं।
कल छुट्टी है।
कल थोड़ी मैच है, कल मैच नहीं है।
हाँ कल एक सेकंड रिफ्रेश मारो। हाँ रे कल छुट्टी है।
कल मैचेस है ही नहीं,
हाँ,
वही
वही मैं
बोला
बोल रहा हूँ
तुझे।
कल छुट्टी है। कल अबे ट्यूसडे को कौन छुट्टी रखता
कल
है।
कल परसों, अरे दो, सबको 2 दिन छुट्टी है, ब्लैक डे है।
कल क्या।
जाके देख वैलोरेंट चैंपियंस के ऑफिशियल पेज पे।
इंस्टा पे।
इंस्टा पे क्या देख रहा है, इधर देख ले, यूट्यूब पे भी देख ले, वो यूट्यूब पे भी है शायद से।
क्या प्रॉब्लम हुआ है, एक
पोस्ट
सेकंड
में जाके देखेगा ना।
एक सेकंड रुक 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 गाइस, एक मिनट। हाँ
2 दिन ब्लैक डे है, फिर मैचेस है।
पीसीटी
इंस्टा पे देख ले, इंस्टा पे जल्दी मिलेगा।
कभी पोस्ट किया था।
अभी अभी
गेम डे गेम डे गेम डे असेन चैंपियन स्टैट्स बिग गेम्स 48 आवर्स। चलो गाइस मैं चेक करता हूँ जो भी रहेगा। टिल देन बाय बाय, टेक केयर।